gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of The Keel Show. I am your host, Alex Keel, alongside me, the insider to the insiders, Tyler Keel.
I'm not saying that's your longest intro ever because you've done.
It is not.
You have done longer ones before, but
here, I'll do it again.
No. We only have 2.5 hours today, even though I think we'll be able to fill it better than we did last week. I would think.
You would think.
I would.
You would think. You would have thunk it, man.
I would have thunk.
You would have thunk it, and when you would have thunk it like the Edmonton Fitzgerald with the thunk.
The Rando's already in the chat, man. He's
there.
He's there. Hot and heavy. Rando coming in hot.
You know, he's just excited because he knows that we're coming on later. For those of you that are watching the show, make sure to tune into his show to get more of us talking about.
Hold on. On what though, Alex? What are they watching?
You're right. What are they watching on a 12-ounce sports?
There.
Good partner. 12-ounce sports.
Down there in that corner.
If you are watching us live, you are watching us via YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or Zingo TV, channel 761. Sign up for free today using the promo code 12-ounce. That is 12OZ or Z.
Zed. Even though there's the book that I gave Kelly, I said, I love thee from A to Z. So I have to say Z for that one because it's the rhyme, because A to Z just... it's like I love you to dead, A to Z.
Yes.
But that doesn't sound romantic.
Make sure to use hashtag TKS or at The Keel Show to get involved in the show. Or if you are watching us live, make sure to hit us up in the comments or in the chat, and we will do our very best to get you on the show with any questions you may have.
Or down here if you're on Twitter and Facebook. Yeah.
Yes. Today's show is brought to you by Second String Leather Company. What is your favorite piece of goaltending equipment, whether it be the glove, the blocker, leg pad? Second String takes your favorite piece of equipment and turns it into something you can use every day with their custom program. Give them your gear, pick from any of their products, and get your item crafted from the crease. Second String Leather Company, crafted from the crease.
Crafted. Sorry, I don't.
Today's episode is also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Bet on all sports, win, and get paid using the promo code at 12-ounce sports. Joining for free today. Hockey, baseball, NFL, and NBA. All the top four.
Hold on.
Let's include MLS
and WNBA. Remember, Alex, last Thursday, the first time in the history of the world, the NHL, NBA, WNBA, MLS, MLB. Did I say NBA already? NFL. Am I missing one? All those played on the same day for the first time ever.
Well, you know what? You can bet on them all. Promo code 12-ounce sports on mybookie.ag. Join for free today.
You could wait till after the show to do it if you wanted to. You don't want to do it yet. We'll go to commercial, so we'll give you time to do it. Anyways.
You can do it today. You can do it tomorrow. You can do it the next day. Make sure you tell your neighbor, mybookie.ag 12-ounce sports. Also, make sure to check out the official merchandise of the show, The Keel Show, TKS. You can see it on your screen. Just 3 examples of the lovely merchandise that is available at teespring.com/stores/The Keel Show. Dashes in between The Keel Show.
I'm thinking about getting those sweaters because it's getting to that cold part. The weather's getting a little chilly here, Alex.
The sweaters. You mean the lovely premium sweaters, the regular sweaters,
the hooded sweaters,
the crew neck sweaters,
crew necks, the slouchy boyfriend sweaters. Apparently, that's a style.
That is a style.
I don't know that, but I found out when I was designing the shirts.
Or if you like to wear yourself some, good old leggings, or if you have a lovely sweetheart who likes to wear leggings, we also have those as well.
I have a lovely sweetheart. She does not like to wear. She told me not to get her those leggings specifically. I don't know why. They look fine. They look fine. I like them though.
Fine. Well, you criticize me for using that word.
Sarah, her sister, almost bought those.
I just don't think that your wife would love to walk around branded like a piece of like a cattle.
TKS right on the side.
I love you, honey.
Support
the show.
She's got the ring on. So does that count as branding, or is that just kind of that means they love each other?
See, that's why I voted that you should have got a nice old tattoo. Just get it right on your face. Property of Kelly.
Wait, me? I'm on the radio, man. I got to have a good-looking face. Even though it's not. It's funny. I can just wear
have a face only a mother could love. And at this point, I don't even know about that.
I don't even know about that anymore.
Today's program, we will be talking about some more hockey, as we should be talking about hockey.
I think I'm supposed to put news there. Some more news. Or no, some more awards.
Yes,
I got sidetracked.
I understand what you're talking. I just wanted
Okay.
to give you a little
Well,
gaff there.
I
So
wrote
we'll be
the
talking about
outlines there.
some more hockey news as well as the giving out of some more NHL awards as we get wrapping up towards the end of the season and the Stanley Cup Finals. The Tampa Bay Lightning are looking to go there, and so are the Dallas Stars.
Wait, the what? The
Dallas Stars. Dallas Stars. Thank you, Pantera.
I miss all of them. I hope Dimebag and Vinny are having a good time again, smoking a lot of pot.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine. If it's anything like this is the end, there's a lot of pot up there.
Hell just got a better band down there.
There's a lot of great bands in heaven, man. Or hell. Hell? Well, they're Cowboys from hell, so clearly they just went back home.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We will also be talking about some other stuff and a couple trades happening as teams are retooling, getting ready for the upcoming draft. We'll be talking about that as well. News today that we're going to start off with. Geoff Ward has officially been named the head coach of the Calgary Flames, just taking away the nice little asterisk of interim and giving him the full position there. Kudos. I think it's one of those things. It's good. It's good for the team. It's not like they underperformed, I would say. I think they did what we kind of expected them to. I would have liked to see them go a little bit further in the playoffs. But again, I think with everything in mind, I think it's just a matter of, you know what? This is an entirely new situation. Nobody was really expecting this, and especially with what we talked about, bubble fatigue. I just honestly, I don't want to blame coaching for the success or lack thereof in the playoffs for that. So I think this is a good move by them. And Geoff Ward obviously is already, known by the players. I think they have some sort of chemistry there. So I think this can be a positive thing moving forward, at least for, however long they have him for.
I kind of said this before our show when we were kind of just, setting up whatever. I said it doesn't matter who coaches the Calgary Flames. I don't think anyone at this point is going to be able to get Johnny Hockey to play in the playoffs or be effective in the playoffs. I really don't. You could honestly, and we talk about Barry Trotz to a T, but I don't think Barry Trotz. Then again, Barry Trotz is like offense is second to him. He doesn't care. He tried to get Johnny Gaudreau to play defense, and that right there is a liability already. But okay, I mean, they won. I mean, let's put it this way. When Bill Peters got outed by Akeem Alou and got fired, which he definitely deserved, Geoff Ward was able to turn that team around. They were able to move it and kind of regroup. They were not dominant like they were in 18-19. It's almost glad that they weren't, because had they were, well, I'm pretty sure they would not have been as effective in the playoffs because they had so much expectations as the top seed in the Western Conference last year. But they were able to settle down. They grinded their way into the playoffs. They were able to get through Winnipeg relatively easily. And I said it on the show on Thursday. They should have beaten Dallas. Dallas should not be in the conference finals. Now, obviously, they are. And, well,
they're proving us wrong.
They are one win away.
They are.
From getting to the...
Well, you don't even have to knock on wood. Regardless of whether or not they win the series, I mean, until they lose, they are one win away.
Well, they're one win away, but I say that, Alex. It's like saying, this
well,
team
Tyler,
is on a hot streak.
You want all the series to end by, what, was it Wednesday you said? So about 48 hours?
I said that for round 2, and now I say that for round 3 because I have an idea for Thursday's show.
Is that so?
Well,
I said all the series were going to end within 36 hours when all those series were 3-1, but
now they're all 3-1 again, and I say that... Let's put it this way.
Monday's a weird day.
Monday's a stupid day. I mean, it's a great day because we have a song that says it's all about Mondays, and that's why in so many words, they don't like Mondays. They say in the chorus that you don't hear on the Kula show because we can't say the other word.
Yeah, we can. We just would rather not.
Because there's children that watch well, I don't know if there's children that watch the show, but I'm just saying if there were. But going back to Calgary.
All right, send the kids out of the room.
Send the kids out of the room. I like to think that Calgary could get better. I mean, how long is he going to be on for? Another year?
Gaudreau or Jeff?
Jeff.
Johnny
Hockey is on for a while.
I can look that up, but you know what? One thing I could actually tie a comparison to, Johnny Hockey and Michael Camilleri. Wouldn't you think?
Here's the okay, Camilleri's...
I'll let you go down that while I look up Jeff.
He is a completely different player. And look at the teams Camilleri played for in Montreal. That was the pre-Marc Bergevin, let's make everyone small era. And I liked the way Camilleri played. I thought he played tougher, and when he wore 93 when he came to Calgary because he loved Dougie Gilmour, and I thought he had a little bit of that Dougie Gilmour inside him. Johnny Gaudreau has none of that. If you gave me the option, and Alex, I say this because even though I pretty much said on Twitter this past week, yes, Alex?
Geoff Ward had his contract extended today, which gives him through the 21-22 season at $900,000 per.
2 more seasons, okay. Yeah, I'd say that's a fair time to see if he can figure out if he can be an NHL coach. That's okay, unless he just absolutely just poops the bed next season. In that case, well, Calgary.
He's got 2 years.
He's got 2 years figured out.
2 years at just a little bit over Leakman.
I would rather have on my team Mitch Marner than Johnny Gaudreau. That may be a
Can
hot
I vote for neither?
You're right, neither, but if you gave me one or the other, because I think Mitch Marner has a little bit more zest, a little more pep in his step, and both are awful in the playoffs. Then again, look at their sample size. They haven't been able to sit in the playoffs for a long time. Both of them had more playoff games than Connor McDavid. I mean, let's be honest. I like to think.
If we're going to tie comparisons, sit between current players and former players. And I mean, why not? Let's just keep going with former players that currently or used to play for the Edmonton Oilers. Mitch Marner and Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. He's young.
Nuge. I would take Nuge. I like Nuge.
No. I'm just saying the comparison you could draw. Young, not huge, not physical play. But when it comes to the playoffs, they're not entirely effective. They are.
I'd say Nuge was pretty effective.
Nuge is still a good player. I'm not trying to badmouth a Nuge or Mitch Marner. I'm just saying that they do hold similar negatives towards them. Okay?
I prefer Nuge just because he can play a depth center role and still be effective offensively.
You don't think Marner could play depth center?
He doesn't play center. He's a winger. They have him on center on the penalty kill.
So you don't think that he couldn't play third string center? Third line.
You're going to pay a near $11 million player to sit on your third line.
I'm talking about...
This ain't Jeff Finger, Alex. You don't pay a guy a bunch of money to do nothing.
Contrary to what Herb Brooks would like me to say, I'm going based off talent alone, not on contract.
You can't win on talent alone. Well, that is the Leafs, Alex. They can't win on talent alone. They can't win with all the talent they have. They can't win
No,
squat.
Because there is a difference between good hockey teams and hockey teams with good players. Hockey teams with good players don't win.
Well, no, excuse me. No, with good players and good systems. Alex, the 0-2 Red Wings, the Hall of Fame team.
No, that's what I'm saying, Ty. It's a matter of you can have good hockey players on good hockey teams. But if you don't have a good hockey team, all you are is a hockey team with good players.
Yes, but you just said that.
That's the
You said good teams with good players don't win, is what you just said.
No.
You should say good players that don't play like a team don't win.
I said there is a difference.
You should have said.
No, I said there's a difference between.
I know what you said.
I said there's a difference between good hockey teams and hockey teams with good players. You can't win just with good players. You have to win as a good hockey team. That's what I said. Randall can hit me up in the chat. Hockey dumb, it's NFL time. You know what? I don't care about that.
I know what you're saying.
Denied.
No,
Denied.
You got his hand in the way.
Denied.
Dang it.
Denied. That being said, gosh, what are we talking about? Yes.
Why Mitch Marner's going to get traded from the Leafs? No.
Why not?
Hey, well, it's funny. So everything hockey.
Let's look up all the players that could be traded for Mitch Marner.
We'll do that later. But so everything hockey, where I got this lovely mask from. Check it out. One of their many masks you can get. And I think they still have the deal where if you get a shirt or something like that, a piece of swag, get a free mask or a couple. They posted they talked about one of their pieces of swag, and it was a blue and white, because they don't have NHL licensing, but they have team-centric gear. You could tell what's Minnesota's gear and Leafs gear and Red Wings and so on. And there was a piece of Leafs gear, Alex, that had blue and white, good hoodie, looked really nice, had 16 and the letter A. And I tweeted out, because I am a smart aleck, I said, boy, I can't wait till that stuff goes on clearance like the Kadri stuff. Psh, because, Alex, because get it?
Yes, Ty, I get it.
And, look at Nashville. They're trying to show that they're relevant, trying to go Roman Josi for Norris. I mean, well, they did vote before the playoffs, even though if you gave me the vote right now,
every team has to put their vote.
The vote. I mean, no, the Pro Hockey Writers Association, the voting for all these individual awards arrives, then it gets completed before the playoffs start. But if you told me right now, based on playoffs, it'd be Victor Hedman just light years away. Obviously, we'll talk about that with our good friend here in just a little bit, Justin Godfrey, who we'll be talking Tampa Bay Lightning with in hour number 2 of today's Keel Show here on 12 Ounce Sports. But where are we going there? Geoff Ward. Geoff Ward. Okay, we'll give it a shot. We'll see how it goes. I don't know.
2 years, $900,000. So if you offload that contract,
wait, what?
$900,000.
Yeah, it's Geoff
2
Ward.
years.
It's a coach's contract. It doesn't count. They have it on.
I'm just saying, as an organization, an organization, you can just.
You know what Alex? What did I say about the idea of having coaches' contracts counting against salary cap? How interesting that'd make everything.
Yes.
It would be interesting.
See, but then the players would be to huff and puff and say, "That's my money, because I'm doing." Yes.
He doesn't do anything behind the bench. He's not worth $3 million.
He doesn't work at all. He doesn't spend time away from his family at all. No.
Well, he did.
What does he do in the office when you're at home playing video games, Mitch Marner? I don't know.
Which one are we talking about? Keefe or are we talking about?
Babcock!
You mean the next coach of the Washington Capitals?
Potentially. At this point, I don't think so anymore. But
well, who else is it going to be?
Well, we'll see.
Who's it going to be?
We will see.
We will see. Letter C. Can you see that?
Letter C for the captain, which there was none.
Captain for the Capitals, because he's the coach of the Capitals. Double C.
Because Washington, D.C. is the captain of America?
Yes, a Russian Alex is Captain Canada or Captain America.
Hey. You watched Winter Soldier, didn't you?
Oh, Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra.
Hail Hydra. Best part of that movie, even though they did it in the comics. Anyways,
you cut off one head, 2 shall replace it.
No, that's not a
Hydra.
That is a Hydra.
Yes.
That is a Hydra. I caught
myself.
You want to talk to me about Marvel movies, buddy? It's not Marvel movies. It's mythology. That's Greek mythology.
Tyler.
What?
It's in a Marvel movie.
They don't have.
It's part of Marvel culture. Josh,
no, they have one Hydra. They have the Nazi Hydra over here, but then we're talking about the Greek mythology Hydra over here.
Josh, because you believe that you have
I want to see Hercules against Chris Evans, 1-on-1. Which one's better, mythology or Marvel? Both start with the letter M. It's this letter. Making letters here on the Keel Show. Yeah.
Both are good because both are points of fiction.
You play Black Ops once and you turn into JFK.
I like history in general. I'm going to turn your mic off, buddy. There we go. Now it's just me talking. Get out of here. Vegas versus Dallas is the series that we will start talking about. What?
You skipped over the trades, Alex.
I don't want to.
We got time.
No, I don't want to.
Let's quick mention them.
I don't want to.
Hey, why? Because one of them involves your team. A guy that you had for 1 year that you traded for Justin Falk.
Okay, this is what I'll say. I liked Edmondson. I really did.
The trade is. Hold on. You
got him for more than a fifth.
Okay. Joel Edmondson was traded from the Carolina Hurricanes to the Montreal Canadiens for.
You got rid of Charlotte and you throw away Edmondson.
5th round pick. So who does Carolina's got? And now Carolina's farm team is Chicago Wolves.
Yeah, which makes no sense. Yes.
And some people are like, Chicago Wolves, one of the premier franchise, the American Hockey League. The Griffins have had 2 teams affiliated with them. Ottawa for like a cup of coffee, and the Red Wings ever since. The Chicago Wolves.
No, I got this. The Charlotte. First of all, in an era where AHL teams are being put closer and closer to their NHL counterpart. Charlotte's basically just down the road. And from there, you have Greenville just down the road. So
Greenville?
The Swamp Rabbits.
Oh, well, that's Boston's team? I think that's Boston's team.
Well, I'm saying you could work a deal out. But what I'm saying is, first of all, not only do you go further away from your home city to have an AHL affiliate, so you're moving all the way from Charlotte to Chicago. So that's moving all of your NHL two-way contract players, not the AHL contracts, because obviously they stay with Charlotte.
Yep.
Then you go and you put yourself with a team like Chicago, which, by the way, has not done very well in the past 3 years of producing good graduates.
And by the way, Rando just corrected me. Yes, he's right. Greenville is the Canes ECHL team.
Booyah!
I was thinking,
count it.
Well, then who's Boston's team now?
You're asking me about
it's Atlanta. Atlanta's Boston's team now. Anyways,
So then you're moving to a city where in the past 3 years you have not had a very substantial amount of graduates that are NHL ready. Okay, fine. And your argument is that you want to bring better opportunities to the entirety of the organization. You are moving literally from a team that won the Calder Trophy.
Calder Cup.
Excuse me. My apologies. They're both the
Cale
same.
Makar can't win the
The
American
Calder
by himself.
Cup. That they won the AHL. They are the best team in the AHL.
So was Norfolk, Alex, but then they were defunct like 2 years later.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Kudos to the Florida Panthers for picking up the Charlotte Checkers. Honestly, I love the Checkers organization. They have a great supervising structure there.
It's a money thing. There had to be some money issues somewhere.
What money?
I don't know.
How much money are you going to be wasting now on travel?
Tell that to Tommy Dunnan's bank account.
Tommy Dundon is an idiot. I will gladly take his job.
Are you all of a sudden, what are you defecting?
I'm calling him out.
You're defecting now?
No, I'm still a Canes fan.
Defecting from your crusades?
No, I'm still on my crusade, but this is a revolution. Dance, revolution.
No, that's not
I'm
how
here
it works.
for it.
That's not how it works.
Canes, revolution.
Okay, Rando. Huntsville to the American Hockey League. They need to get a barn first. They need to fix that rink up to a T before
Wait.
Huntsville.
Like the barn that Alabama Huntsville plays in?
And Huntsville Havoc and Alabama Huntsville share
Well,
that rink.
I know
that rink, yes.
We'll talk about it on your show, Rando.
Which is coming up at 8:30 Eastern Time here on 12 Out Sports.
The list of cities that need to become AHL teams.
Huntsville, number 1 according to the Rando.
Detroit.
Put that palace back together. Let's go.
Calumet, Michigan. Copper Bay. The Copper Bay Rattlers.
You could put an ECHL team if you really wanted to in the Fraser. I know they got that Motor City team, but
No.
it's big enough.
Please don't.
It's big enough.
No, it's not. It's not big enough.
Well, what you gonna do? Rebuild Cobo Arena?
I'm just saying.
You gonna steal USA Hockey from USA Hockey?
Joel Edmondson got traded to Montreal for the 5th round pick.
Let's look at it from the other side now, Alex.
Good for Montreal.
Great for Montreal.
They picked up a, honestly, not bad defenseman. They needed to bolster their defensive core, and they needed to give themselves more assets to play around with, especially when they're running about 7D on the road.
Which is because they're very strong on the right side and I'll say that Shea Weber looked really good in the playoffs. I knock on him for getting old. His knees aren't there anymore. He's shown like he can still be a capable defenseman. Jeff Petrie, he's right-handed. Carl Alzer's on his way out. I'm looking at cap friendly. You do have Ben Sherratt, which as of right now, I think all of a sudden jumps to your number 2 defenseman. Now, here's the big kicker, Alex. Here's the thing I don't think we both realized on why it was only a 5th round pick. The Canadians still have to sign Joel Edmondson. They have his rights, but he's a UFA. At UFA now. He's a UFA, so on October 9th, he could go somewhere else. And Montreal just gave up a 5th round pick to get him. Now, I don't know if this is a deal that they're going to try to be like, hey, we have you here. Let's look around. What do you think? Because in the long run, say Edmondson does sign somewhere else, Alex. All of a sudden you lose, you lost a 5th round pick. Because remember how Kevin Hayes, the deal with Philadelphia, they gave up a lot more to get him. Now, obviously, Kevin Hayes signed, and they had a pretty good year, did the Flyers with Kevin Hayes.
Right.
But adding him, that's big because now you have a left-handed guy. You have Alex Romanov, who's still a ways away from being there. Brett Kulak, I think, was really impressive this year.
You're looking at Montreal's
cap friendly.
Yeah.
Xavier Ouellet, I always said Xavier Ouellet's not going to make it anymore. I'd say
he's still an option.
He showed that he can be an option in the playoffs.
He's still an option.
I said his name, and I watched him like, man, that guy's out there, and I'm not saying it because it's bad. He made a couple of errors, but he's never been in the NHL playoffs. Never been in the Stanley Cup playoffs before. So, yes, he's going to make mistakes, but I watch him, and I say, wow, he's not an awful liability. Victor Mete's coming around. This team they don't have the best defense core, Alex. They don't have the best blue line in the league, but they're getting there. They have veteran talent on the right side. And now it's funny, Alex, because we always said they don't have a left-handed defenseman. Now they don't have enough right-handed defensemen because I think Mete is left-handed. He goes, shoots left. Yeah, plays both sides, plays left and right. So you could put Mete on the right side to fill. But, you can obviously go after a guy that's a right-handed defenseman. Trying to look at their defense core back in. I mean, the Cale Fleury was right-handed down in Laval. Josh Brook is right-handed.
But think about it though.
But
In a defensive core where your highest-paid defenseman is getting 7.8 until 26-27.
Well, no, until the end of the 25-26 season. 26 is when he becomes UFA.
No, 26-27. Like that's like the end.
26 is the end now.
I didn't say through the 26-27.
2026 is the end for Shea Weber.
Yes.
Trying to help you.
Hopefully.
I'm trying to help you here. Well, he won't be making that at the end.
Last year, Edmondson was only 3.1. Well, only 3.1.
And I don't know if he'll get a raise.
I don't think he will.
At least it won't be massive.
I'm thinking
4.
No.
Ish.
I was thinking 3.5. Give him the same amount that you're giving Ben Sherratt. And
well, Ben Sherratt makes 3. Yeah, okay.
If anything, you give up Christian Froline, or is that Froline? No, Folign.
Folign, yep.
Christian Folign to free agency because he is a UFA. And
I mean, you may sign him, but you're not going to sign him for a lot.
Victor Mete, Xavier Ouellette, Max Domi, you're going to have to sign, and Charles Hudson. Those are the only ones you have to deal with this year.
I wonder if they can give up.
Here's the problem, though.
Carl Alsner.
No, the problem is next year, the 2021-22 season. UFAs for next year include Tomas Tatar, Brendan Gallagher, Philip Deneau, Joel Armia.
Yes.
Jordan Wheel, Jeff Petrie, and Jake Allen and Charlie Lindgren. All of those people have to be signed. Well, they don't have to be signed, but their contracts are up.
And Max Domi's an RFA with arbitration rights, and he's got Darren Ferris in his corner now. So
that's this year.
I know, it's going to be great. I talked about that on Thursday a little bit. But we'll have to see how it goes. I think that's a big pickup. If they can sign him to a reasonable contract.
They should try.
They have money. They have money for this year to sign Max Domi and maybe sign Edmondson. But we got another trade before we get to the Vegas-Dallas, Alex.
That is true. Nick Bjugstad traded from Pittsburgh to Minnesota for a conditional 2021 pick. The conditions have yet to be determined. Do we have any breaking news on those, by the way?
I was going to look at that right as you said it because I don't know yet. Because I looked up yesterday. I was looking at it. I'm like, where is it? Now, this, going off just based on looking at the fact that Bjugstad is now with, let's see, Bjugstad was traded. Oh, that's the wrong one.
That's last year.
No, this was his, I am confused. Nick Bjugstad plays for them. Transactions, here we go. Transactions traded from Pitt. There's the trade. Okay, here we go.
Oh, so we do have conditions now. Okay.
Because it just came out today. The pick will be transferred to the Pittsburgh Penguins if Bjugstad plays in 70 games or earns 35 points in next regular season. Now, the reason why they mark 70 games, Alex, and I don't know what they're going to play a full 70-game or 82-game schedule like they talked about, but
I give him 60 games.
Bjugstad, of course, people have to remember, missed the play-in series, at least for Pittsburgh, because of a lower body injury. He was very injury-ridden. Obviously, that's why, hey, we're giving him up for a conditional 7th-round pick. And he's not a bad player, Nick Bjugstad.
This is a cap dump.
This is a cap dump. But here's the thing. He's making 5.1 at the time. Pittsburgh is still retaining half. So they're giving up. So Minnesota gives him a conditional 7th, and they don't have to pay him $5 million. That's not a bad contract at all. So I like this for Minnesota because you're adding a depth piece and a guy that's going to play more if he can get 100%. He's got a lot of time to do it. They're not going to play until January, February, whenever, which is still, I think, should be a 60-game schedule. But that's neither here nor there.
Mid-February is the latest that it'll start.
Well, just like that was January in 2013. Regardless.
Which, by the way, this is all tentative.
Tentative.
Tyler, I'm from the Midwest. I drop my T's. Tentative.
Secretary of State. Nick Bjugstad. I mean, he wasn't like he was a big-time player in Pittsburgh, but then again, when you're a small fish in a big pond, you look pretty small. Now he's going there. I think he'll fit in a little bit more with Minnesota. He'll get more ice time, and he may be able to be a guy that can put up 35 points. Heck, Eric Stahl is still your leading scorer.
Please,
one of your leading scorers.
Please, I think whatever you do, just don't put him with Dumba. Don't.
He's a forward, Alex.
I say again, don't.
Man,
I thought Bjugstad was a defenseman. My apologies.
Okay. He's not Nick Robertson or Nate Robertson.
Nate Robertson is a star defenseman.
Nate Robertson. No,
and by the way,
it's Nick Robertson, right? Yes, it's Nick Robertson.
You're thinking of Nathan Robertson, former Griffins great.
Yeah, it's Nick Robertson.
Your dog's
Wixie?
barking.
Wixie's barking?
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
You're all right.
Let's see if she keeps barking. If she keeps barking, I'll have to go out there. We'll have to go to commercial.
Well, no, if she keeps barking, I'll go out there. You keep going on.
I keep going?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's your
Hell,
turn.
you do every Thursday without me. Why can't you do Monday too? I do one on Monday.
Oh, I thought you Thursday. You said. I thought you said every third day, and I'm like, well, ish.
Third day.
Every third day.
I'm making a left turn. Third day.
But anyways, yes, Nick Bukestad, good pickup for Minnesota. They didn't have to give up a whole lot to get him.
Third day's a practice day on the track.
Going down there. It's funny because I work at a racetrack too, but I work at a racetrack in Michigan where it's not as bad, but there's still.
Ty, wherever there's racing, there's rednecks.
Tim DeVos.
Rednecks, long necks.
Tim DeVos
racing.
wins the race and just goes, there. I mean, I'm like, dang it, Tim. I don't know what you said, but it sounded good. Anyways, moving on, Alex. Come on, host.
Moving on.
Figure it out.
Vegas. Can we talk about that?
I'm going to smack
Gotta turn on now. Vegas and Dallas.
left jab.
Vegas and Dallas is the first series we'll begin talking about finally, since we can get back to that. Before we get anything, do we have any questions in the chat?
Comments? Would Buffalo to AHL? Rando's got ideas, and he's insulted by the way.
Hold on here.
He's insulted by the fact that we insulted Huntsville.
Well, I don't have any problem with Huntsville. I'm just saying that's not an AHL thing.
We insulted the arena. That's the problem, apparently. Anyways, we got to preview the game tonight, Alex. Before we got Justin and I, then we got awards to talk about, then we got Yanic to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. Then we got the Rando to talk about. We got all this stuff on. Go!
Ball Sports. Dallas and Vegas is the first series we'll be talking about. Game 3, the Stars win 3-2 in overtime. Stars played a lot better, had a lot. I think the thing that we need to talk about is their offense.
Well,
they have been bolstering. Well, it's not the fact that they've been bolstering it up via just putting players on the roster. No, it's just they've decided to just play better.
They got lucky in game 1. Game 2,
this game,
Robin
though,
Leonard.
This game right here, though.
They got more. It's funny. The game started off for a lot of back and forth. Not too many great chances. It was okay, nice and slow. And then all of a sudden, Alexiak's like, I'm going to go on a breakaway. Jamie Alexiak, a defenseman's like, I'm just going to start skating up the ice, and if they feed me, oh, look, I got the puck. And then he beats Leonard. First goal, Alex, in almost 3 hours on Leonard.
3 hours of playing time.
3 hours of game. You're right, because 3 hours was not a lot. 171 minutes and 27 seconds. It was the first Dallas Stars goal since their goal in game 1 of this series, which was like a couple minutes in. Their first goal in 157 minutes and 7 seconds. A lot of firsts there and a lot of hundreds. It's been a while since Dallas scored, but a while since Leonard gave it up, and all of a sudden they just open up the floodgates, and it's like, let's get this game going full speed ahead.
100. So, that all goes fine and dandy. Then the Knights answer back with a power play from Theodore.
Shea Theodore, I forgot which one that was on him. He scored again in game 4, so he scored. Shea Theodore has, it's funny because it's one of those things where you look at him like, man, I don't know if he's that good, but then you watch him in the playoffs and you just see, wow, this guy should be talked about more. An offensive defenseman that can play in his own end. I mean, I tell you right now, I just need, you know what, Alex? That's right. I just need to just stop trying to work early in the morning. Just watch all the games through the night. 2 o'clock in the morning, I finally get to bed. I wake up at 10 and start the day over again. Because I'm missing out on all these great players on the other side, except for California. They all suck. But I'm missing guys like Theodore. Heiskanen's a little easier to watch because it's Dallas, only Central Time.
Radulov, who we'll talk about a little bit later. But here's
But we know about those guys. It's only an hour difference. I'm talking about the West Coast guys and the Mountain Time guys.
But here's what I'll say, though. The thing about... I was about to sneeze there for a second.
Achoo.
Theodore, good buddy, is the fact that he makes his job look easy. Would you say that? Okay, why am I asking you? You obviously don't watch him a lot. But from the games
from what I've seen, yes.
From what we've seen, especially thanks to the fact that, by the way, there were 7 games in a day, and I loved every second of it and got to watch every single one.
My laptop's gotten a lot of work.
It's had a lot of screen time.
A lot of screen time.
He makes his job look easy, and I think that might quite possibly could be a reason why he doesn't get talked a lot about. It's the fact that he goes into his own end, he plays defense, gets in front of shots when he needs to. Not a whole lot, but he does sometimes. He gets into the corners. He plays the sideboards perfectly. And when he's an offensive threat, he is a threat. Give him the puck, that much space, and he puts it in.
He's a guy that almost reminds me, not offensively talented, but just because of the fact of who he played with, the team he played on, and the fact that he wasn't really a highlight reel player, Kenny Danico, the old New Jersey Devil defenseman. I don't know. Is that too far of a stretch? Because Kenny Danico should have been. The reason why he's not a Hall of Famer is because he was never statistically dominant, never won a Norris Trophy. Yes, he did win all 3 Stanley Cups at the Devils, but he did his job. That was it. The difference between him and a guy like Nicky Lidstrom is Lidstrom could produce offensively, and he was always up there plus minus. His numbers were always great, time on the ice, all that stuff. His numbers suggested why Lidstrom became a Norris Trophy winner for so many years and a Hall of Famer and a Stanley Cup champion. Kenny Danico just went out there.
The difference between Kenny Danico and Nicholas Lidstrom is that Nicholas Lidstrom was a superstar.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
He was a threat and a talent at the beginning.
But that's why I'm saying, Alex, Kenny Danico was simple, not flashy. The only time I ever seen him in a highlight reel was the one time Scott Stevens hit him when Scott Stevens played in Washington.
Wow, Ty, you calling people simple now? And that's why they don't freaking go to the Hall of Fame?
Tell me I'm wrong.
I'm getting what you're saying. No,
listen, there was a lot of Montreal Canadiens that were just simply decent hockey players, but they played with Guy Lafleur or they played with Kenny Dryden or they played with Maurice Richard, and they were looked at like.
No, I get what you're saying. It's the simple ones you have to look out for. And honestly, this is a player that there's a reason why he gets paid. And there's a reason why he's an NHL player and he's not, fourth line.
Yes, I concur.
But another player that I don't think gets a lot of talking about is Jamie Benn. Well, actually, he gets a lot of talking about.
Hold on a second.
He gets a lot of
talk. A guy that's going to talk about Jamie Benn. You're right, the guy that I've criticized for the last 6 months.
I apologize. He doesn't get talked a lot about in a positive way, even from his own team. By the way, just want to remind
his own executive.
Jamie Benn, suck. Yeah,
and a lot of other words.
I run this team. Yeah.
Yeah. A guy that we've never heard of before, and I can't remember his name now because he's so irrelevant.
Don't even care.
But
Jamie Benn scores 5-hole on Leonard, but Mark Stone ties it up with his 7th goal of the postseason. But the one goal that we need to talk about, favorite quote from, the past little bit, is the fact that Radulov said, quote, "I don't know. I just get in my zone and I shot the puck."
I just shoot the puck.
Hey. It worked. He just got that little bit of space right there. Radulov is a dream player for me. Left-handed shot, playing on the right-handed gets the puck. Nice.
It's
good goal right there. Overtime winner.
Just right off the post. And don't
31 seconds into
now
overtime,
I wonder, obviously played decent in game 4, but remember that at the end of regulation, Ben had that chance that went off the inside of Leonard's knee. I wonder if Leonard was still feeling that shot at the beginning, because I see why he made that save selection, the one leg up, one leg down, because I think maybe Radulov's going glove high, but the left knee was the left knee that got hit? I think it was the left knee that got hit on the shot by Jamie Benn, the one that stayed up. I wonder if that would have made a difference, but
I think you're looking a little bit too far into it.
I'm a goaltender. It's what I do.
That's the point. You're looking into it as a goalie.
Yes.
So that was game 3. Game 4 was also another Stars win, 2-1 in regulation. The Knights were coming out early, hot and heavy, 22-6. Well into the second period, where the shots, Martinez scoring on the power play. Good old Joe Pavelski, guy that decides to bleed from his head a lot.
Wow. All right.
He got an odd goal off the stick of Nate Schmidt, and then Ben scored on a rebound. Klingberg on that one got his 11th assist of the playoffs. That was on a power play.
A power play.
Power play. And Vegas decided to have a nice 5-on-3 where they tied it, or they could have tied it, but they did not end up converting on that. Qdobin getting 32 saves on the night. Leonard, 18 saves, quote-unquote, 6 big ones in the third, according to Tyler. Keep Vegas in it.
Listen, he only had to make 6 saves because Vegas was starting to turn the tide back, but the chances that Dallas had to seal the game, that's what made the difference for me. That's because in a game like that, when you don't get a whole lot of work, every save you make is important. And Leonard had that, especially at the end of that Vancouver series, where he only had to make 18 saves a game, 17 saves a game. In order to, I call it the Marty Brodeur effect. I know we talked about it with Jim Jackson, and he kind of put it off like, oh, he was really good. Yes, Marty was really good. And so was Kenny Dryden at making the saves when they had to make them. They didn't have to make many in their careers, at least when the teams were at their peak, but they were able to. And Leonard did that in the Vancouver series, at least enough to get through the Canucks.
It is a considerable fact that when a goalie is making saves for your team, it gives the players in front of them the confidence.
Oh, yeah. So I was about to say, I thought you were about to say, if your goaltender makes saves, your team can win the game. Thank you, Eddie Olczyk.
Is he wrong, though?
My dad told me that if you don't hit the net, you can't score.
Is he wrong, though?
Johnny.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky, Michael Scott. Thank you very much.
I want to find that, the where he said that, how he said it, because it just sounds so... It's true, but it sounds dumb. You're going to look it up, aren't you? You're going to try to find it.
Well, it's because it's on the internet. They have the exact time, and then I can just pull it up.
1982. After losing to the Los Angeles Kings in Game 7 after
you meant when Wayne Gretzky said it.
Oh, I know. Michael Scott said it, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But listen, Game 5, which starts in a little over an hour.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time.
Local time there in Edmonton.
Local thing.
I don't know if they're going to do it tonight. But, man... Dallas is just having everything go right for them. And don't forget, when I had the show on Thursday, Alex, that was after Vegas won. I said, see, Vegas has got it. Dallas has got nothing. They should never be here. And all of a sudden, they win that night. They won on Friday night. They win Sunday night. And I look like the idiot. Or they won Saturday night. Thursday night, Saturday night, tonight. Thursday night, Saturday night. And then tonight, I could say, Alex, hey, they're not going to win. Vegas is going to come back in the series, make it interesting. I don't know. Anton Hudobin, which, by the way, have you seen that picture of him circling around the internet of him just pounding back wings and chugging beers? Sweat.
Let him.
It's not like from right now, but it was. It had to been.
Hey, if he wins the series, let him.
Dude,
you don't need to win the cup at that point. You've already won.
Did I tell you
beat Vegas?
Did I tell you the Habibulin story that Harrison Watt told me?
No, you've not.
Nikolai Habibulin, morning skate of Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals, 2004. Nikolai, in the year of Tampa won it.
Yes.
Habibulin, during morning skate, is sitting on practice or morning skate. I can't remember what Harrison told me. Sitting on the bench, hucking darts. And John Tortorella comes over to him saying, what the hell are you doing? Or, however many ever words Tortorella filled in there, said, what are you doing? And
what in the actual what?
Okay, Tortorella does not sell. Anyways, he looked, and Habibulin, without missing a beat, says, I got us this far, didn't I? If Anton Yeoman's been hucking wings and hucking beers back after games, why not? Hey, man.
Why not?
Superstitions at this point, you just keep going. You can't lose, man. If Hudobin can go out there with 10 pounds of wing under his belly, he does look like a chunky goaltender. Can we just all admit that?
Clear eyes, full stomach, can't lose.
If you lose your lunch on the ice, well, it looks like at least you're trying to shows attrition. It's like blood in a wrestling match.
Shows distract them.
Oh, man, he threw up all over the ice. Smells over here.
Hey, if you throw up right in front of your crease, nobody's standing there.
Hey, ain't going to be standing there. I don't want to say Dallas can do it tonight, but I'm okay. I said Dallas was not going to beat Calgary.
I'm not going to call it. Actually, you know what? Hot take. Doesn't matter if you put Leonard or Fleury in. Snake eyes both ways round.
Snake eyes?
Isn't Snake eyes the bad one?
What?
When you're...
Oh yeah, when you're rolling
dice.
dice. Oh yeah, snake eyes.
Isn't that the bad one?
It's so weird to look at this team because I didn't think
the Boogeyman's had a bad thing for Snake.
Didn't think they were going to beat Colorado in the last series. didn't think they were going to beat Calgary. They were bad in the round robin. This team was not supposed to win a darn thing, but yet here we are. They are one win away from the conference final.
Yes.
Alex said yes, by the way. He had to pull his
Yes.
mic away. But here I am saying
the beast.
I don't know. I don't know. It may not be tonight, but they're going to win. They're going to win. And you know what? They may win the whole darn dangly thing. Even though my pick on the other side is different.
I mean, one out of 4. Hey.
1 out of 4.
One out of 4 ain't bad.
If Vegas loses tonight, what do we think of the Knights? Going into this series was like Vegas and Tampa, because I love Barry Trotz, and I like Varlamov's little story of making his comeback, but they weren't going to beat Tampa.
Well, Leonard and Vegas have already agreed to they have a verbal agreement on his contract extension.
Correct.
So,
they're not going to be bad. They're not going to stink, but this was last year and this year seemed like the years.
I'm sorry.
Last year they got screwed. This year they're just getting beat by a team that somehow is able to find a way to win. Not by a lot, but they're finding their way. You have Jamie Benn picking it up. Joe Pavelski apparently is still considered Captain America by the NHL Twitter account that I follow. They said, Captain America coming through. I'm like, really? He's still Captain America?
We'll see who USA.
Vancouver was
Captain
10 years
America.
ago, Alex. Let's just remember that. Vancouver was 10 years ago.
And they lost.
They did lose, Alex. To Sidney Crosby. Iggy! Sidney Crosby, the golden goal! And Canada, once in a lifetime, has its Olympic gold.
You know what?
I can still remember that call.
If Vegas ends up losing and they don't make it to the Stanley Cup final, things you can take away.
Great team still.
You made it to the conference final. Still a solid team. Your team had to play in unfortunate circumstances in a bubble where everything was very weird.
And what?
Do not just think that because you lost in your first season in the final.
Yeah, they make it to the finals their first year. That's bad.
You made it to the final your first year. Darn. You had to retool. Last year you got screwed. Darn. This year, if you don't make it past Dallas, you made it to the Western Conference final. You're still a competitive team. And at the end of this, you're still going to be a Stanley Cup, right in. At the beginning of next season, in the preseason, people are going to be like, all right, who wins the Cup this year? Vegas is going to be in that conversation. No doubt about it.
Guys they have to sign.
Guys that they have to sign. That's a good conversation.
No. I'm saying I have it right here. Guys that they really, Chandler Stevenson and Nick Cousins, both RFAs with arbitration rights. Thomas Nosek, we're talking like they're going to, it's over. Like on Thursday, they're going to be irrelevant. But Thomas Nosek's a UFA, John Merrill, Derek England, good Lord. Derek, just go.
He's from Vegas, man.
Give him a job then. Just do what they did with Marty. Just make him vice president of hockey operations assistant or something like that.
Make him the viceroy of...
Not the viceroy. He's... Okay. Do I got to do this?
The Trade Federation.
We turn on episode 1 before the show.
Yes,
he just skips 25 minutes into the show, into the movie.
Hold on.
Just skips it.
Hold on.
Through the beginning. We didn't even get through the intro. This rolling credits were still going, and he's like, screw this.
Episode 1 of Star Wars, by the way, The Phantom Menace. And no, it was not 25 minutes in. It was 20 minutes and 50 seconds. That is the time where if you want to skip to the Seas of Naboo, where they have battle droids coming up the beautiful laneway, that's where you get to.
Skipped it. Not even the big gooba fish.
You know what happens after that?
Skipped all of it. Not the...
2 minutes later, the Jedi come into play, and they start the protection and recapture of Princess Amidala. The good stuff. That's all I got to say, folks.
You hurt me a lot. But...
And Robin Leonard is... Oh, but hey, at least you get $500,000 back.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to worry about Thomas Tatar anymore. Finally.
Yeah. I think in a couple minutes we should probably go. I think I hear Wixie whining.
Okay.
Through my headset. What We'll have a longer commercial break because we're going to have Justin Godfrey at the top of the hour here on the Kuehl Show, talk about Tampa Bay, and we'll break down the Tampa Islander series. I may start that one back by myself before you come back here. I don't know how long Wixie will take.
Oh, we still got 9 minutes.
We can probably introduce it. What? Bad take. Oh, yeah, even Rando agrees with me. Wait, hold on. Bad take as in dumb for skipping that far ahead of the movie, or bad take as in that's the best part of the movie? I'm confused. Rando, you got to be specific here. Specific like the Pacific. Now we're just gonna wait because
We're just gonna. Why not?
Well, because don't forget the delay here on the feed on the YouTube chat is about 30 seconds behind. 30 seconds behind. Skipping that far. Ha! I told you.
Okay.
You're wrong.
Well, hold on here.
Dallas tonight. Does it? Get it over with.
I understand why
Rip
you
the
think that's a
Band-Aid off.
bad take, but when you want to go through all 9 movies, I have strategically taken out clips of each movie. In episode 1, it's the first 20 minutes. You can go through that movie without watching the first 20 minutes. Because by that point, Jar Jar Binks is basically irrelevant other than the battle scene where he decides to mess everything.
Where he's a Jedi.
By messing it up.
Where he saves everybody.
Episode 2, just skip past, I don't like sand. It's dry.
And it gets
everywhere.
You skip the entire movie, but you go on YouTube and search Yoda versus Count Dooku. That's all you do. You skip. Actually, no. The teaser trailer is good. The teaser trailer is the best part of episode 2 because it has Darth Vader in the background. And it's like all this cool stuff it's going to be, and the movie sucks. Episode 3 makes me cry because there's the John Williams score in the background, and Obi-Wan and Anakin are fighting. I knew this was going to happen, but I can't handle it. My 10-year-old self still couldn't handle it.
Fun fact, of all the movies that Episode 3, in my eyes, is the worst Star Wars movie of them all. But
worse than Episode 2? Worse than... Wait, hold on. Are we counting just the first 6? Are we counting them all? Because Solo was garbage.
Here's the thing. I like all of the Star Wars movies. I'm talking about the trilogies. I like all the Star Wars movies, but Episode 3 is the one that I like the least.
Wixie.
Which is funny because, in all honesty, that's the one episode that I don't skip any parts of the movie.
Which movie?
Episode 3.
I can't. It's because you just know...
Because Episode 3... is so
Welcome
together.
to the Kuehl Star Wars show.
Yeah.
No, it's because
what does Rando got to say about this?
He said very bad takes by you. No, Solo is not great. You are wrong, Rando. I'm about to
Alex, you are getting yelled at. All right, Rando. I'm okay.
Listen. I still remember the poster at the Rivertown Mall at Celebration Cinema of the Episode 3 promo with Anakin and Darth Vader's reflection.
It's okay.
Not
Rando.
Episode 1, not the first one with little Anakin and the shadow of Darth Vader. I'm talking Episode 3, and it hit me right there. I'm like, it's going to happen, and I literally am like this. I listen to that score, and it gets me so emotional because I'm like, it's going to happen. It's literally like. Even wrestling, they say, is predetermined. It's like literally someone telling me, hey, Undertaker's going to lose to Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 30. I still am going to get involved thinking, maybe, just maybe, Taker's going to win. And then the same thing in Episode 3. I'm like, maybe Anakin won't turn bad, but he does, and maybe he won't die. No, he gets incinerated. Oh, it's so emotional. I can't handle this.
It's okay. We're going to go to commercial break. But before we go to commercial break, Rando, since you're already going to yell at me, let's give you something else to yell about. The SBHL should just be completely just defunct.
What?
Take Fayetteville and Peoria and just throw them up to the federal.
Whoa.
I'm going to go take care of dog.
Wow. He just did that. He just walked off. Home run. Well, yeah, so we'll take a break. When we come back, Justin Godfrey here on the Kuehl Show. Oh, that was about. He just walked off, and look at the doors open. There's a nice cool breeze coming out of it, but we'll be back here on the Kuehl Show, everybody. Jeez. Had to leave me alone like that.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide. Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide. Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Keel Show. I'm your host, Alex Keel, alongside
Did you almost do the intro all over again?
No.
It
was conscious.
I thought you were about to do the intro all over again.
With Tyler Keel. Now, as we are going to be getting into the Tampa and Islanders series, breaking it down with us is going to be a guy who was never a guest on a show before. Tyler had him on a few months ago, but he loves it, and we love him being here for the second time here on the Keel Show. Let's welcome Justin Godfrey.
Woo! Hey, Justin.
Well, hello, gentlemen.
How you doing, Justin?
Living the dream. Having a great day.
Living the dream, having a great day. Now, Tyler, of all the intros that you've written out and scripted for me to say, that I was disappointed.
Well, okay, because, listen, it's funny. The first time we had Justin on the show, this was back in our podcast-only days, he told me he'd never been on a show before. And I'm like, really? Because he'd say, like, oh, let's see if I can get out. And Justin was a big hit. We loved him. We got a lot of listens, got a lot of likes on the social media. I'm like, we got to bring him out again. And now that Tampa's doing well. But, Justin, before we get to Tampa, we have an important question because we went to break a little hot. We went there a little electric. We were a little lightning bolts where we were. Like if you want to go with a really awful pun there. Is Revenge of the Sith the worst Star Wars movie?
No.
All right. Good. I'm just glad we got that right because Rando's on the chat. He probably agrees with me. It's a cult classic. Alex, he says it's the worst. Justin, which one is the worst Star Wars movie in your eyes?
I'm going to go with Attack of the Clones.
Thank you. Woo! Episode 2 sucks, Alex.
It's fair. It's a very fair opinion to have, and it's a good one to. It's a good hot take. It's not a good hot take. It's not a hot take at all. It's a
well thought out and very correct take, Alex.
Everyone's allowed to have their own opinions. I'm just saying.
Okay. Now I will say this, Justin. Okay. Obviously, the original trilogy is the best of the bunch. Are you prequels or sequels?
Sequels. Yeah.
Oh,
good
man.
Take. Good take.
We had him. He was on my side. Okay, go ahead.
I have no hatred for any of them, to tell you the truth. I just can't get outraged at movies these days. It was fine. I don't go into Star Wars movies looking for Oscar-winning drama and plot lines. I mean, the dialogues in the original ones were not great. So, people. I find it funny that some of the young kids out here who, weren't born when the original ones came out, and they attack the dialogue in their prequels. I'm like, look, this stuff that George Lucas wrote wasn't Oscar worthy. So you just take it, you enjoy it. Stuff blows up. The hero saves a day. That's what I'm looking for in Star Wars stuff.
Right.
So.
I mean, and also too, it just doesn't help the fact that fans were waiting a decade to get a new movie after 3 was released to have the sequels. But let's start talking about what we got you here for. Islanders and the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Bolts as we love to call them. Game 3 is what we'll start breaking down first, with the Islanders winning 5-3. Clutterbuck, Pelech, and Villiers getting some good points there in the 5-3 win. Now, Games 3, 4, and 5, 5 being tomorrow, but games 3 and 4 are really the ones that have started to tell the story of how the Bolts are starting to look quite dominant. What have your takes been of the past 2 games?
For me, game 3 was kind of a throwaway. I mean, I shouldn't say throwaway. Nothing in the playoffs should be taken that lightly, but you had Point was out, Killorn was out. The Lightning had 2 rookies in the lineup. If there was a game that they were going to lose, I felt it was that one. And then, honestly, they almost pulled it out at the end. They rallied back from 3-1 down. So I wasn't horribly distraught over the loss. It would have been nice to win and then ended up sweeping the series in 4. But, the Islanders are a tough team. So they weren't going to – I don't think anyone had thought this was going to be a sweep.
That is fair.
I will say I thought, I'm like, Alex, when I sent Justin this request, hey, you want to come out Monday? And I thought to myself, like, man, they may actually be done by the time we have them on. And then, of course, they win game 3. Listen, this series has gotten chippy. We'll get to game 4 in a second, which wasn't really that bad. But from game 1, after that 8-2 drubbing by the Lightning, and they make it all the way to game 3, there's fights throughout. And then all of a sudden you have Nikita Kucherov going after Pajot after the empty net goal, and Martin fighting Barclay Goodrow. And this, I'm not saying this is not the Tampa team. They got Pat Maroon for this kind of reason, but is it kind of interesting to see like this nastiness come out of Tampa, which we really haven't seen in the past before?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest difference when you look back between this team and last year's team or previous iterations of this team is they brought in Maroon, they brought in Luke Shen, who nobody thought would be playing in the Stanley Cup final or the playoff finals. You brought in even Barclay Goodrow and Blake Coleman. Those are all players that have a little bit of an edge to them. They play the tough game in the corners. They love to have the extra shot. So I think that's the biggest difference is teams came in thinking they could still push the Lightning around. I think Boston fell into that trap. They thought they could come out there and, rough up the Lightning a little bit. And then, the Lightning gave it right back to them. They're doing the same thing in this series as well. Killer and crossed the line a little bit. Didn't like that hit. Didn't like the Goodrow hit on Nelson later in the game either.
Yeah.
But, it's the Islanders. This is the way the Islanders play. The Lightning would matched it, shift for shift pretty much as far as giving it right back to him. As far as Kucherov, he's always kind of had that little bit of a streak in him. He's not a very emotional guy on the ice, but he can get frustrated. And I think the Islanders that's in their game plan is hit him as many times as you can, slash him on the wrist throughout that game. I mean, they were taking liberties with him throughout that game. So I think that's kind of where that frustration came out at the end, where he slashed Pajot in the ankles. It was just, 60 minutes of him getting hit on the wrist or slammed into the boards, and he just kind of took the extra shot.
Right. And I mean, you can kind of see the comparison that you could make between Barry Trotz's Washington Capitals versus Barry Trotz's Islanders, where you bring in a player like Tom Wilson and you ask Ovechkin and some other players to kind of step up more and be more physical and, have that kind of more grit factor. So you're bringing in a player like Matt Martin on,
bring back, I guess, for the Islanders.
Bring back if you're the Islanders, yes, but you're bringing him back into the organization to kind of have that, that nice grit factor. So like you said, that's something that they're going to have to, take into consideration with the Islanders having the part in that game plan. And I believe it was before Game 4 with the pregame extracurriculars, if you will, with them, having a little bit of gab right at center ice there. Honestly, for playoff hockey or just hockey in general, I like seeing this because I like a little bit of that grit factor. Growing up in Detroit and having players like Darren McCarty and the grind line and all that stuff to look at.
Don't forget, I played in the Fed. The things that are said there,
that's a whole different story.
The things that are said on the red line there.
The Federal Hockey League is where the coaches fight each other. Okay, that's a completely different story.
I mean, Justin, this and we talked about it. This, I'm trying to think of a Tampa team that was tough like this, and I'm talking not just I'm thinking ever. I've never seen a Tampa team because they've always tried to stack with talent. You go back to the early 2000s, Vinny LeCavier, Marty St. Louis. Yeah, there were tough guys on that team, like guys that would play tough physical grinders, but not guys that will just, hey, let's go and fight a guy.
Exciting players is what they.
Yeah, they've had a few. They've had a few roll through. I mean, Andre Waugh was on that Cup team. He never turned down a fight. But then you go back, the mid '90s, the early incarnations of this team. He struggles to get that out. They were pretty much all Phil Esposito, rough them up kind of guys. Enrico Ciccone was on there, But as far as the successful teams, under the Yzerman era, yeah, it's something that they really haven't had. And fans in Tampa have always that's been one of their things that they've really kind of grumbled about is, you don't have someone who's going to stand up for Stamkos, and why is Yanni Gourde your number one fighter and things like that. So as someone who enjoys the beautiful hockey, if you will, the skill hockey, it takes some getting used to, but honestly, if you want to advance in the playoffs, unfortunately, it is something that you have to have on your team so that, the Matt Martins and Casey Cizikas of the world don't start running your players. Really the only reason Luke Schen's on the ice right now is because he's a big guy who will rough somebody up. He's not out there for his defensive skills, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, but, even though the Game 3 did end up with the Islanders taking it, 3-1 was the Tampa Bay win, the score for Game 4. 3 goals in 27 seconds with Point and Killorn back in the lineup. Obviously, Killorn getting the suspension on that. But this was a game that I really enjoyed. I didn't personally watch it, but watching the highlights back, this is just... 3 goals in 27 seconds is not a easy feat to take. What was your entire take on this game by itself?
Yeah, I think it's kind of a microcosm of the way they've played this entire playoff series. Is they just bounced back. They played a really good first period, kind of stumbled a little bit in the second period. The Islanders go up, and the Lightning immediately had an answer for them. They bounced back. I mean, sometimes skill is just the difference in a game, and I think that's where the Lightning have the advantage here. Is they just have more skill than the Islanders do right now. So you go out and Blake Coleman got behind the defense and scores, and then Point and Palat connect together. It's just that's how the Lightning kind of play. They can just turn it on so quick. And if you sit back for 30 seconds to a minute, especially when that first line's out there, you're going to have a bad time. So it's just a series in a nutshell, if you will.
And I'll correct Alex because I wrote it wrong. I forgot that Patrick Maroon scored an empty netter it's actually a 4-1 win for Tampa in Game 4. I'm glad I corrected myself. But empty netters don't count. Goaltenders are not net. They don't matter.
They shouldn't.
They shouldn't matter. Well, they only matter if it's like an empty net goal and then somehow the team makes it a 1-goal game. That's the only time it matters. But
or if you're betting the over, they matter as well. So.
Oh, geez. That's why I'm not a gambling man. Because guess what? I wouldn't be able to afford all this equipment had that not been the case. But no, it's funny because yesterday I worked at the racetrack, so I had to come back. I turned on the game on the radio. It was 0-0, and I saw Tampa was getting chances, and I'm like, okay, let's just listen on the way back. All of a sudden, Brock Nelson scores. Great shot. I'm like, okay, all right, good wrist shot. Vasilevsky could have stopped it, but Brock Nelson's on fire. 9th goal of the playoffs. Then it's like, as they're recapping the goal on the radio, all of a sudden, and here's Blake Coleman on a break. And Blake Coleman scores. A beautiful feed by Yanic Duplessis, by the way. Then Andre Palat, hey, he's my guy, Alex. Andre Palat.
Yeah.
His 8th goal scores 12 seconds later. I literally tried to think of any time anything's ever happened. I think the record was like 3 goals in like 17 seconds back when the original Seattle Metropolitans played back in the old tickety 1919 or whatever the heck it was. It's just so crazy and how imagine, Justin, like Tampa was just able to bounce back because sometimes a goal, you have a little bit of pep in your step to try to get back, but 2 goals in less than 30 seconds after that, I mean, that's an unheard of.
Yeah, and it's just they've just kind of gone about their business this entire playoffs. Is nothing gets them too high, nothing gets them too down. They know if they go out and they execute their game plan, there's not many teams that can stay on the ice with them. So if you give up a goal, that's great. Whatever. Turn the page, move on, go back out and have another shift. Don't have 2 bad shifts in a row, and good things tend to happen. So that's kind of been their mindset. So when they execute, they just win. And honestly, the loss in Game 3, that was almost more them making mistakes than the Islanders beating them with better skill. The turning point was really, they battled back to tie, and then McDonough has that horrible turnover, and the Islanders score right off of it. So it's them making the Lightning make mistakes. They pay. They pay. But if they play their game and stay with their game plan, this hopefully should be over tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with Game 5 being tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But one thing I want to also mention is with Braden Point coming back and obviously just having the ability to produce, this Bolts team had been having some health issues, during this playoffs. Braden Point coming back, obviously not having Stamkos to, help bolster the lineup. But how is the team and I would just say the players coming back from injury or dealing with injury and being able to not only play but produce at a high level? How important has that been for the Tampa Bay Lightning in the playoffs?
So Point's the key to the whole team. They can play well without him, but when he's in there and he's healthy, the offense pretty much rotates around him. So just honestly, it's again, I hate to harp on it, but it's just sticking to the game plan. If Point's in there, that first line, nobody can skate with that first line. If Point's out, Cirelli bumps up there, and the game Cirelli played with Palat and Kucherov, that line didn't miss a beat. Then you go back to Hedman on the blue line. This has been his best, the best he's looked at in a Lightning uniform, I think, since he joined the league in, was it 2009? I think was his first year.
Yeah.
He's put everything together. I know he had that, that injury against Philly in the last round robin game, but this is probably the healthiest I've seen him skate all around as far as an all around game. He goes through the first 2/3 of the game, and he's doing Hedman things where he's in the right position and he's making the subtle little plays. And then if the game's close or the Lightning are trailing, it's like the last 10 minutes of the third period, he just takes over the game. He's pinching in, he's skating all over the offensive zone, he's bringing the puck out of his own zone, and he just shifts it into another gear. And that's something that we haven't really seen from him on a consistent basis in the playoffs. So last year he was hurt. And then in other previous years, he kind of just didn't have that second gear or that third gear that he goes into this year. And it's been amazing to watch. He's probably up there. I would say if you ask me for an MVP vote right now in the playoffs, just for the Lightning, I would probably go Hedman, Point, and then Vasilevsky after that.
And that's one thing. I mean, we should do a quick rundown of the stat line here of the leading scorers. Kucherov and Point are now tied for the playoff lead with 25 points. Unfortunately, that guy named Nathan McKinnon, he's no longer playing. But, Kucherov leading in assists with 19. You have Braden Point second in goals with 9. A lot of guys have 9. Geez, even Brock Nelson now. Like I said, he has 9 goals scoring in the last game. But having a guy like Victor Hedman is huge. But the guy that I am just every time I watch him play now with Tampa, I'm just so surprised that he's still relevant. And that's Kevin Shattenkirk. I mean, this is a guy that is making nothing now because when he was out of New York, he was a shell of what he was when he was back with St. Louis. But it looks like maybe it's because he's been playing with the right guys, playing with the right team. He looks like a top 4 defenseman once again. How important has Shattenkirk been for the Lightning in this postseason?
I think it's been super important as far as he's in a place where he doesn't have to be the number one guy. If you look at it, if I had to rank the defensemen, I'd probably put him 4th. You have Hedman, you have Sergachev are your top 2. McDonough is probably your number 3. I think he's second most in ice time for the Lightning right now. And then Shattenkirk can kind of just slot in there. Coach Cooper can pick his spots where he puts him in. He's usually been, until they went to the 11-7 lineup, he'd been matched up with Sergachev most of the time. Now it's kind of a rotation. That's part of the joys of an 11-7 lineup with 7 defensemen out there is just watching Cooper swap out defensemen left and right. So, but now he's in a spot where he can get a good matchup with Shattenkirk. He's playing a little bit on the second power play unit now. And having that depth is super important to the team from the blue line. And, he's got a concept of the offense. He knows, if I get the shot on net, it's going to get tipped or there's going to be a rebound out there. So his offensive instincts are really important to the team.
It's so weird because I always looked at Tampa like having this just ridiculous defense core and it just even when Anton Strahlman was there, like, man, this team is deep, but it just seemed like they never had enough. But then it just seemingly starting to click. But it's not just the top guys. There's a lot of guys underneath that are producing guys like Palat, even Gord's chipping on in. Who, in your eyes, Justin, has been the biggest surprise for Tampa in this playoffs?
For the entire all 3 series, it's definitely the Gord line. Yanni Gourde, Blake Coleman, and Barclay Goodrow. They were dominant against Columbus. They didn't put up the point totals till the end of that series, but if you delve into some of the deeper analytics, possession numbers and stuff like that, they absolutely tore up the Blue Jackets. They continued it against Boston. Not quite as dominating against the Islanders, but still, I mean, that's a line that's just an energy line. Cooper was starting them almost every period for a while there, and they just go out there and they just skate people to death. Gord never stopped skating. You got 2 big guys in Coleman and Goodrow just grinding people out in the corners and causing turnovers, and they've kind of found their scoring touch a little bit as well as they've adjusted to the Lightning offensive plan. So that's probably been my biggest surprise is how good that line's been together.
Yeah. So next question I'll have for you has to do with the goaltending of the Bolts. Vasilevsky has kind of on our radar gone back and forth between whether he's been good or whether he's been bad, whether he's been a Vezina candidate worthy goaltender or whether he's not. Do you see him, well, whether it be, let's just stick with the playoffs. Do you think that he's been playing like the Vezina candidate that everyone is saying that he is currently?
Probably not quite up to that level. I will say he's been playing more consistently and better than he was in the regular season. Kind of had an average regular season this year. And he's really hard. It's kind of really hard to gauge looking at statistics about how good Vasilevsky is. He's one of these goaltenders that if you need him to make the save, that's what he's been doing in the playoffs. He hasn't quite made the acrobatic 10-bell saves that we're used to seeing, but he's doing a lot better job of stopping the routine shots or coming up with big saves when the Lightning need it. There was a breakaway. God, what game was it? It's game 2, I think. Close game. It was 1-1. No, actually, it was game 1. It was the blowout game.
Yeah.
It was 1-1. The Islanders get a breakaway. He makes the save, and then the Lightning go on from there. So it's kind of that, timing is more important to him than, the stats that he's putting up. And he's still putting up really good stats. But, yeah, I don't know if I'd crown him as a Vezina goalie this year, but he's definitely, I would put him in the top tier of the goaltenders, probably top 10.
It's funny because you say about just goal. That's, I guess, the biggest thing for money goaltenders in the playoffs, just making the saves when you need them. Heck, my poster over here, Chris Osgood, is that guy right there. He's the guy that makes the big saves in these playoffs.
Yeah.
Always did that. But, we talked about the grinders for Tampa just a minute ago, talking about Gaudreau and Blake Coleman and Yanni Gourde, but obviously the Tampa Bay Lightning had to acquire Coleman and Gaudreau. And that's why Julien Brisebois was a nomination for the Jim Gregory GM of the Year award. Didn't win it. Did go to Lou Lamoriello. We'll talk about that later on in the show. But why do you think Julien Brisebois, despite Yzerman just walking away from the team, kind of inheriting this very good team but just needed some fine-tuning, was able to make this team just a little bit better by just not doing big moves, but just minor tweaks to make this team put this team one win away from the Stanley Cup Finals?
I think it started last year after they got swept by Columbus. He kind of looked at his roster and said, hey, we need a little bit more size. We need a little bit more, toughness in the corners. And I hate the word grit, but I guess it kind of applies here. We need just players who are going to lead by example out on the ice by going into the dirty spots, getting the pucks out, winning those battles along the boards. And so he started with that. That's why you bring in a player like Pat Maroon. Then as the season progressed, he had the chance to pick up a couple players that really rounded out that team. The scoring was never going to be a problem for the Lightning. They didn't need to add offense. They needed to add depth. That's when he went out. And, you got to give him credit for being willing to sacrifice a first-round pick for a player like Barclay Goodrow. I don't think there's a lot of GMs that would pay that price for him. But with the way the Lightning are set up, that's what they needed. A first-round pick, which probably would have been a mid to late-round pick, what's the true value to that? If you can go out, if you can sacrifice that pick for a player that gives you a legitimate shot to win a Stanley Cup, I think you got to make that deal. But the value that fans and media writers put on first-round picks, I think is a little bit overblown, especially when you're drafting later in the round. So for him to do that and knowing he's going to get criticized for it if it didn't work out, or even if it did work out, so I think honestly he should have won the award. I mean, that's my own bias. He improved the team though, set a record in points for the regular season last year, and he made them better somehow. So, but hey, I don't get to vote on the award yet. So,
well, we're not. You and I
not yet.
That's it.
Emphasis
not yet.
On yet.
We're
right.
The pro hockey writers. We're going after it. I've been sending.
By the time I'm 75, I'll have a vote for something.
They have that contact page. I send every one of my articles from the hockey writers. Like, hey guys, check out this new piece of mine talking about college hockey that no one else cares about. But guess what? I got it on there.
At least you care about it, Ty. You're the guy that goes and takes the Michigan Wolverines decade by decade, right?
It wasn't the Wolverines. I did the entire national championship, the history of the national championship.
Oh, my apologies.
And thankfully, it was a year that there was nothing else to talk about in college hockey. So let's talk about every year in the past, which reminds me, Ken Dryden should be the Ken Dryden of the Year award, not Mike Richter. Ken Dryden was amazing. Sorry, I'm not. Anyways,
Okay, Tyler.
you got me all fired up again.
I know I got you fired up, but we
Jeez.
need to keep electrified here.
Oh my god!
Oh,
Oh my
well
gosh!
done.
Thank you.
Well done.
I'll take that
Oh,
one.
No, I'm sinking into my chair. Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah, I will take that one. But one take that I'd like to get from you, Justin, is do the Lightning need Stamkos? Now, as of right now, he was on the ice today, but there's no current timetable for his return. With the Stanley Cup Finals coming within the next few days here, do you think, A, the Lightning could bring him back as a feasible part of the lineup for the Finals? And B, even if they did bring him back, would he be worth it?
I think so. I'm not planning on him coming back. It was great to see him on the ice and get excited about the possibility of him, being available should the Lightning advance. But at the same time, I mean, the guy's a 40-goal scorer. He's got 400 career goals. You don't turn that away just because he hasn't played in a couple of months. That being said, like I said, not planning on him coming back. I think there's a role for him if he does. He's not going to be on the top line. I don't see Cooper messing up with the chemistry that Point, Kucherov, and Palat have, but he's a valued asset. Even if he's playing 10 minutes a game and 4 that's on the power play, I mean, he has an elite shot from the circle. So that's, that alone is worth it. He'd be an improvement over. I think they'd probably go back to a 12 forward, 6 defenseman lineup. And especially against a team like the Stars, where I don't think you need a player like Luke Shen out on the ice. So,
Right.
Yeah, I would love to see him back skating. I mean, and just, personally for him to have a shot at the Stanley Cup after everything he's been through injury-wise, career-wise. He didn't get the chance to I think he's got a gold medal, but it's not like he got the chance to play for it because he was out with I believe it was the knee injury that year.
Yep.
But he was still on the Canadian roster. So I would love to see him, on the ice and, should the stars align and the Lightning lift the Stanley Cup, I'd love to see him have be the first to touch it, but I think they can still win it without him.
How funny would that be? Steve Stamkos gets a gold medal even though he didn't play for it. And if he was on the roster for the Islanders, or excuse me, why am I saying Islanders? The Bolts, the Lightning here. Oh, my goodness.
Lord.
Man,
that monster has not done
that,
squat for
That
the
energy
NBA.
drink did not do what it was supposed to do. No, Stamkos getting a Stanley Cup ring and not even being able to play for it. That'd be something else, wouldn't it?
He never won an Olympic gold medal. I just looked it up. He's won
World Championship of Hockey. That's what it was.
He's won.
right?
No, he won the World Cup.
Well, he
of
was
hockey.
on. I know he was on the 2014 roster. I think it was 2000.
But then he got hurt, so he got left off.
He was hurt, but
yeah.
I don't know. I know he was there though because there was a picture of him with St. Louis.
Yep.
He may have gotten a medal for that. I didn't get a chance to verify that. But
People forget it was Stamkos that was initially picked. He gets hurt.
Yep.
Marty St. Louis goes brought with over to Russia. He won.
well, trust
Oh yeah, go ahead.
me, Lightning fans do not forget what happened in that sequence because that pretty much a lot of people think that had a lot to do with St. Louis ending up in New York. So
Yeah, where he almost won. He almost won a cup, but Stamkos has won a World Junior Gold Medal in 2008 and then 2016 the World Cup of Hockey, which was Canada's tournament to win anyways. But
well, yeah.
I'm going to ask you about Stamkos here in a second because do you think it's going to be tomorrow night that Tampa gets it done, or do you think the Islanders extend the series?
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. I think a lot of it will depend on if Point plays or not. He did leave game 4 early again, but there's some talk that may have just been precautionary.
Yeah.
If it had been a tie game or the Lightning had been losing, he may have played in the third period there a little bit more. I think they get it done. I mean, I feel kind of bad for the Islanders. They've played hard this series. It just seems like they just don't have enough to keep up with them. Their flip line's been their best line, and that's kind of not a great recipe for success against the Lightning. And they needed a little bit more out of Barzal, a little bit more out of Jordan Eberle, and they just haven't gotten it. So I think you get that goal in game 4 and you go up and you're like, all right, we got this. And then, you're not even sitting on the bench and you're behind again. So I think that's kind of I wouldn't say a backbreaking, but that's got to be a blow to their collective wills, if you will.
Yeah, Islanders have played well, but and I say that because obviously we're implying that the Lightning will make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, which we both picked. Now I just wonder, This literally came across when we were talking about it because I'm like, man, this team is playing so well without Stamkos. Do you think now this could be a massive take of all takes? I'm not saying it's not. It's more of a question for me to you, Justin. Is there ever a thought, just a thought, if Steven Stamkos may not end his career with the Tampa Bay Lightning? Do you think there's ever a time if the Lightning can, well, again, I want to say it, knock on wood, but do the thing? If they do the thing without him, is it ever a time to say, well, maybe we can move him? Is that a thought that it's ever crossed the mind? You think of Brisebois or anything like that?
I think it has. I thought when he signed that extension a couple of years ago when he was a free agent for roughly 2 hours or whatever, once he signed that, I was like, okay, he's going to retire as a Bolt. But I just think in this day and age, with how important the cap is to teams, and managing it is, managing the cap is almost as important as drafting players that, are going to contribute for you, or if not more important. So I think there is a world where Steven Stamkos may not end his career as a member of the Tampa Bay Lightning. Put it about a 10% chance. He's such a great spokesman for the team, for the community. He loves being in Tampa. It would be interesting to see what kind of offers, Brisebois would get for a player like that. That's a lot of money for a team to take on for someone who's 30 and had the injury history that he has. So it'd be interesting. I don't see like Toronto knocking at his door or anything like that, but
trust me, we had that chance already. We missed out. Now we have $40 million wrapped in 3 forwards. So there's that. Jeez, no, I'd say Kyle. And for somewhere, Lou Lamoriello was like, "Wait, now you're gonna trade him? Could have gotten him when we were bad. $8.5 million. That's nothing, man."
I mean, he's only got 4 more years until he's a UFA.
Okay, yes, but those 4.
Yeah.
You're right. You're trade Matthews, trade Tavares, trade Martin. We're going with Steven Stamkos. He's going to be
the question should not be, does Steven Stamkos finish his career as a Tampa Bay player for the Tampa Bay Lightning? The question is, does he get traded before his contract ends?
Ooh.
That's I'll give you that question.
Does he get left open to the Kraken? Oh, we are throwing takes out here today, boys and girls. Let's go.
Yeah, that would be an interesting piece to build a team around, wouldn't it? I mean, I think he's got a no movement. Yeah, he's got the no movement clause, so I don't think he's eligible to be exposed for.
He would have to repeal. I remember there was that whole problem with Dion Phaneuf a couple of years ago with Vegas, but it's possible.
That or they
unlikely,
or they work out a trade or something like that. But
yeah.
I don't think he gets exposed in the expansion draft. Does he end his contract with the Lightning? That's a different discussion, and I think there's a greater possibility of that possibly happening. But that being said, I would say 90% of me says he ends up as a Lightning player. He retires. The year after that, his numbers raise to the rafters. So
I'm going to email some of your writers at the Raw Charge. I'm like, hey, guys, you guys need bored with some writing. How about talk about how Steven Stamkos may not finish with Tampa?
Hey, you have this
city on Raw Charge
off season, so basically until possibly the middle of February, plus all of next year to make him hate you. Brisebois, you got your work cut ahead of you. I'm sorry,
but it'll be interesting. But no, listen. The future is just. The future is wonderful. I don't know how it's going to happen, but I'm interested.
The future is electric.
Oh my! Will you stop it? You use electric twice. Doesn't count.
The second one doesn't count.
Yeah, you only get one, Alex. You got to come up with a different word. You got to use like shock or something. Something that got to shock you.
Energized?
Okay, I'll allow it. But you didn't use it for
close
anything.
enough.
Well, either way, I'm going to keep on going.
Wait, what?
Did anyone get the Energizer Bunny joke? Come on. Come on, folks.
Oh, man.
Just because I don't have Tesla coils hanging above my head like they do in Tampa.
Justin's going to never come back on this show, Alex. How dare you?
Well, with all of these puns, I would hope so.
Jeez.
Well, I'm a fan of the pun, so yes, I will of course be back.
Let's go. That's what I'm talking
Right
about.
when Stamkos gets traded, we'll have Justin on the show. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I feel bad for all the guests that you have on when I'm not here. They don't get all of this.
They get some. Just it's not as bad. It's not as bad as you and I, because there's only one of us, not 2 of us. But
that is true. But at Torch Ramrod on Twitter is the beautiful, beautiful tag at Raw Charge is the another Twitter handle that you should be also looking for. Justin, it's been great having you on the show. We are going to go on ahead without you, and then we'll talk about some other stuff here. But thank you so much for being on the show. Is there anything else you'd like to plug while you're on here?
Not really. That's kind of all I'm working on right now. So, gentlemen, it's been a treat talking with both of you, puns included. So hopefully we can do this again in the next round. Fingers crossed. Not making any assumptions, but, hopefully they can win one of the next 3 games. So.
They're 60 minutes away from going to the Cup final. If I was a coach, I'm like, we're 60 more miles.
That is true. At the very least, who knows? Maybe we'll just have you on for a off-season bit.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
There you go.
For sure. All right,
the
Justin.
7 destinations Steven Stamkos can get traded to this offseason. I'll be back for that. So.
We're going to have a breaking news show. We're just going to go live on whatever.
It'll be the Stamkos show, Destination Stamkos.
2 hours talking about Stamkos getting traded. Justin, we'll talk to you later, man. Thanks again.
All right. You guys have a great day.
You as well.
Bye.
Justin Godfrey. It's so funny because, like I said off the top when I was talking with him, he's never been on a podcast, but you would never been able to tell. Because some guys are very shy on the phone. There's been a lot of first-time guests on the show. A lot of my guys, Brett Pickler, he did well. Like it's so funny. Everyone's like, "Oh, I've never been on a podcast or I've been on a show. I'm a little nervous. Like, is something I should know? Whatever." But no, we'll just ask you easy questions, whatever. And then we ask them tough questions. Steven Stamkos gonna leave.
Steven Stamkos going to finish as a player for the Lightning.
Listen, we ask the easy questions, but once they get comfortable, we jump in there with the tough one. Oh, the door's opening. Oh, no. It's first of all, it's my wife. Hi, Kel. Hi. It's hashtag Kelly Hand again, guys.
Hashtag Kelly.
Kelly Hand has a gift. What is it?
Here. How about I just pop out of the way?
Hold on. I'll do the drum roll. Oh, that means you have to come in here, hon. We are doing this live. All right. We're returning to the Kuehl show here. Wife, Kelly Kuehl, wearing her friend shirt. She's Kuehl.
It's Keel.
Okay. Whatever. On the show. You're welcome back, hon. How was dinner?
It was delicious.
Where'd you guys go?
New Holland.
New Holland. Over
in
there.
Holland.
New Holland in
Best one.
Holland. The wife is here because, well, there's a reason why. Hi. I should give you a kiss.
Hi.
Mike's I have to give her a kiss. She got home, okay? And we're having a good show. She had a good day. Oh, yes. And here's why we need to have her here. Look. We have a puppy.
We have a
oh
member of our family.
Look at this. Ladies and gentlemen, introducing, we've had her for a couple weeks now. We just haven't found a good time to do this. Introducing Haley Wickenheiser Kuehl. And she likes the microphone. Better known as Wixie.
This is our Wixie.
This is Wixie.
She's a Pembroke Welsh Corgi, so she's got the cute little butt.
She's got the corgi butt. Look at the
corgi butt.
Look at the corgi butt.
She hates us right now.
Oh, of course. She's like, I'm on camera. I'm not ready. She didn't brush her hair.
She did. I did brush her today.
But no. So
this is our baby.
This is our baby, named after, of course, Haley Wickenheiser, the greatest female hockey player and the first ever woman Hall of Famer, or at least Canadian woman Hall of Famer. And that's where we got So Kelly's like, hey, what should we name her? And he said it was a girl. I'm like, give me famous hockey players. I'm like, well, there's Haley Wickenheiser. That was the first one that always comes to my head. There's obviously Kami Granado and a lot of others. You're going to let her walk on the table. She's going to jump.
She's not going to jump that high.
But, so anyways, and I said Haley Wickenheiser. I'm like, I can't name a dog Haley. I'm like, well, what about what her hockey name would be? Like any other hockey name ends with a Y. Wixie. And so she's like, I like that name. So we have Wixie. And all I see is her butt in the camera shot right now because
it's okay, it's gorgeous.
She's looking like, get me out of here. Oh, Wixie baby. Oh, give Daddy some hugs before you go. Can I have a hug? No?
Absolutely not. This is BS. I don't want to be here at all.
She is our unofficial mascot of the Kuehl show. Look at her. She's terrified.
She's pissed.
I don't have a t-shirt.
Hashtag TKS. Yeah, get your merch. We'll get it. We'll definitely get doggy bandanas. Look at her. She's like, I want to get out of here so badly.
Yeah, do you want to go play?
Oh, I love you, though. Oh, gosh.
Do you want to go play?
I can't even give her a kiss. She's
all
like,
right,
get me out of
play.
here. All right. Kelly's going to go.
And ready. And release the puppy.
All right.
Okay.
Well, I think this is a good time for us to we'll take a break here so we can recross ourselves from all the puppy love that we had. And we'll say goodbye to Kelly, even though I like seeing my wife on the show because it's fun. I mean, no injuries to talk about, hun, so I'm sorry. I know you like talking about, people breaking legs and concussions and stuff. And stuff. She's been on the show a few times. Go back to our old Q podcast episode. She's on there a few times. All right, hon. I love you.
I love you.
All right, we'll see you guys after this. More of the Q Show on 12 Ounce Sports.
Drink Aid, ready for distribution worldwide.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Keel Show. Alex Keel for Tyler Keel here on 12 Ounce Sports. Also on the Keel Show, if you're watching us on YouTube.
On the replay or
Any of your podcatchers.
Yes. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, SoundCloud. Yes, I got to mention SoundCloud because we use them to post the stuff, and it goes everywhere.
If you're on SoundCloud, you're listening to us first.
Well, no, it goes well.
That's how that works.
Yeah, it does. It goes out there, and then it goes through all the place. I mean, that's why whenever I post the listen, on Twitter I use on Twitter I post the SoundCloud link because you can watch it, you can listen to it right on Twitter. But then if I go like on Facebook or Instagram, I'll post our Linktree link because it has all of our stuff.
Linktree link.
Our Linktree
Say
link.
that 10
Linktree link.
fast.
Linktree link. Linktree link. Linktree link. Linktree link. Linktree link. Linktree.
That's enough of that.
Well, but no. So that's there you go. Alex. If you want to listen on Google, you click the Google. Takes you right to Google Play. You're on your phone.
You click the Google.
You click. It says Google. Well, it says Google Podcast. But then if you want to listen on iTunes, you click Apple Podcast. Takes you right to iTunes. Takes you everywhere. And if you want to go on Spotify, it goes right on Spotify. Or you can, just do what just search. You just search the Kuehl Show. Unfortunately, we're not good enough where you can search TKS yet.
No, because hashtag TKS has a lot
I
of
forgot to
different
throw the
meanings.
hashtag AskTKS on there. Wait, what?
What?
Oh. Okay. No, sorry. I saw rest in peace JK Rowling on Twitter. It's not for a good reason. So,
Oh, her book being transphobic or being
Yeah.
proclaimed as transphobic.
yeah.
That'll do it.
I saw that. I was like, what? She died? Oh, no, that's
That'll do
you.
it.
Twitter death, maybe. Social media.
Thank you, Uncle Max.
Jerry Stiller, rest in peace.
Oh my goodness.
What a man. What a man.
The man, the myth, the legend.
No, he was not a myth or not a legend. He was real. He was on multiple movies. He was in Heavyweights.
Well, that's just the phrase.
I know, the man, the myth, the legend, but here's the difference. He's not Scott Sterling. Scott Sterling was a man, myth, and a legend because there was a man
at
who played
one
the
point
actor.
he got pelted in the face with a volleyball and a soccer ball.
I'm trying to think of. He didn't do any sport movies. I don't think so. Did Jerry Stiller do any sport movies?
Bro, you're asking the wrong person.
Are we going to consider, because since it's competition? No, it can't. No, Zoolander doesn't count. It's so funny that like they used John Boy as the dad, but they could have just used Jerry Stiller as the dad of Zoolander. You could have done that. You couldn't give us one movie where he plays the actual dad of Ben Stiller.
See, but here's the thing. Do you really want to work with your family in the movie business?
Well, they did because he was his agent. He was Derek Zoolander's agent in the movie. Jerry Stiller was. I just would like to think that, that's why.
See, but do you think that'd just be too easy?
Why do you think one of my favorite 2.5 Men episodes is when Emilio Estevez is on it?
Emilio.
Martin-
Because you have a vendetta against Martin Sheen.
What? Well, there was the episodes with Martin Sheen, yes, but I like the one with the brothers in it because it makes it feel homey.
Homie. They don't even share the same last name.
Hey, Charlie Sheen used it when he did Machete Kills, because Richard Rodriguez is like, hey, you should use your real name, Carlos Estevez. Okay, sure. Pay me money, I'll do it. And he got paid money.
And he did it.
Charlie Sheen, President of the United States, only in Richard.
No.
In Richard Rodriguez. Well, that's what he was in the movie. He was the president.
Just don't say that out loud.
Richard-
more than once.
Richard Rodriguez is like, I got an idea. We're gonna take a nice little kids movie character, Machete, cute little guy that makes gadgets, and just put him in the scenario of Desperado and have him kill everybody.
Machete.
This has become the Kuehl Show movie podcast. That's the funny thing. Like, we never decided, hey, let's
This
throw.
is still a show. It's the TKMS.
Well, no, we never threw. It's funny. Like, when we
Movie Show?
first came up with our idea for the Kuehl Show, we never thought we should throw hockey in there so people know it's a hockey show.
TKMM.
Like, imagine, Alex, you remember our original logo? It was a K and an S. And we thought, that's going to sell.
Well, yeah, it was KNS, and since it had crowns on it, you're like, ooh, it's a gang thing.
No, that wasn't me. That was other people.
Oh, yeah, that was Dad.
But then we put TKS, and then still, well, that's going to sell. And we're like, hey, let's take a picture of us. And we were called the Kuehl Podcast. Do a picture. Yeah, two of us standing there under like a weird spotlight in an alley. That's going to sell hockey. And we finally did the TKP one, the Kuehl Podcast with the Warner Brothers logo. We just ripped that.
It wasn't Warner Brothers. It was a generic shield,
Alex,
and I put it in front.
Look up the Warner Brothers animation intro.
No,
it's the exact same shield.
It was a generic shield, and it was in front of a hockey rink. Is the Warner Brothers logo in front of a hockey rink? I think not.
And then when we became the Kuehl Show, I told Tyler we need something that looks good, and he did that for us.
And he's like,
because
I got you, dog.
Because my idea of a logo. The idea that I did, I'm glad it's deleted because it looked bad. Didn't look good.
Most of your ideas are pretty bad.
It was Scott Foster, his goaltending stance. We played with the Blackhawks the one game and colored that over and put TKS on it. I'm like, this is gonna sell. I'm a genius.
Sends it over to me. Hey, how does this look? Ty, this is not a goalie show. It's hockey.
But it should
Make it more hockey.
It should be a goaltender.
No.
Ooh, Tony Granato named to the USA Hockey Hall of Fame class. Is there more? Who else is it? Oh, yeah, that's okay. That's some news. We can just breaking news, I guess. It's our
Tell me why I should care.
Because it's interesting. Dean Blay, the former head coach of the North Dakota Fighting Sioux, Tony Granato, longtime NHL.
Why you got to put emphasis on it?
Because that's when they won. Then they won the Fighting Hawks. And they won again. And who is who we got here?
Why'd you have to put emphasis on it?
I don't know. Jenny Potter and Jerry.
Ty,
York.
you want to make a take
Jerry
on
York.
on names for teams and
pretty sure-
colleges?
Is Jerry York the first ever
Colleges.
person to be inducted into the the Hockey Hall of Fame before the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame? Because usually it's the other way around. It's usually the U.S. Hockey Hall of Fame as soon as they retire.
Is that a rhetorical question?
I mean, you can answer if you want. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Good answer, Alex.
Why are you asking me about who?
Why do
was in the
Why do I
USA
ask?
Hockey
You're right, Alex.
Hall of
Why
Fame?
do I ask you about anything? I don't know either.
Because most times I have good takes.
Uh-huh.
I'm on my way. Okay.
So we got about
What do we got
8.
next?
Well, we're gonna do awards here. 8 minutes before puck. Well, 8 minutes before 8 o'clock when the puck's supposed to drop between
8 p.m. Eastern Standard
Dallas
Time,
and
6
Vegas.
p.m.
Dallas has an opportunity
Standard
to
Time.
knock off the number 1 team in the Western. Well, excuse me, the number 1 team out of the round robin. They
The
were
number 1 seeded team.
Vegas Golden Knights, and that starts in a few minutes. And in about a little less than an hour's time, we'll be on talking Myers with the Rando
East.
on 12 Ounce Sports.
Yeesh.
When did I turn into the host here? Is that monster really wearing off on you?
Dude, I'm gone.
He has crashed and burned. You gonna help us out here, Alex, or are you just gonna sit here?
I was thinking of a World War II reference, and I can't think of one. Kamikaze pilot.
No,
All
because
right,
here's the
time
thing.
to hit the deck, boys.
No, because here's the thing, Alex. We could hear one of those old bombers coming down. You were just. That was it. It was literally the
Yeah.
Microsoft Office sound.
I was not a Japanese bomber, nor was I a torpedo bomber. Nah, I was a zero fighter pilot. You saw me, and then you didn't.
You saw me, then you didn't. Alex, you're doing great at this.
When you didn't see me, you felt it.
Awards.
Sean Couturier won the Selke Trophy. Philadelphia Flyer. Patrice Bergeron and Ryan O'Reilly were also candidates for the award. Oh my God.
We need more coffee.
Terrible.
We need more coffee in here.
I need caffeine.
I think I may have like a sip left in the French press.
I need a
You need
freaking
you need
5-hour energy right to the veins.
No.
Yeah, why not?
It's the same,
dude?
dude. It's the same thing with Monster. Monster, 5 hour. No, coffee. You want to know why?
Give me a French press. No. This is what I need. I need a French press with freaking Death Wish coffee or whatever it's called.
I have like. Am I out of it? No, I got a little bit more left.
You got a little bit more? Perfect.
Yeah.
Then I'm going to get a big old freaking can of Red Bull. I'm going to get that nice and hot.
You're gonna
and then
boil
I'm gonna
Red Bull.
I'm going to steep the coffee grounds in Red Bull, press it down, and instead of creamer, 5-hour energy on top. I'm going to die tonight, boys.
It's just not gonna end well for anybody. How could you? No, because I remember that was a joke. Hey, oh yeah, no, I
Wait, how do you boil Red Bull?
No, it was a joke of, hey, I made my coffee with Red Bull today, and I got halfway to work before I realized I forgot my car. That's an old joke of mine. But I'm just like,
Okay, Mr. Danielson.
no, I don't put whiskey in my coffee on Mondays. But on Mondays. Hey, listen, Bailey's. Okay, is Bailey's an acceptable creamer? A daily creamer for your coffee? It's not like I pour half of it full of, like half my
It's
mug full of
acceptable
Baileys.
if you're an alcoholic.
I like Kelly says that too. I like Bailey's. We'll get to Sean Couture. We'll get to Sean Couture here in a second. Awards. We need to talk about this.
Okay.
Bailey's coffee.
Yes.
Bailey's creamer it's good. Yes, it is made with Irish whiskey. I don't know. I'd like to know which one. Like if they make their own whiskey or whatever, they use like Tullymore or Jameson. I'd like to know. But regardless, you can have it in your coffee daily, right? It's not awful.
You can.
It's okay. It's not like I said, it's not like I do half coffee, half creamer. That's bad. It's not like I do on St. Patty's Day where literally my morning is, well, Irish car bombs or
It's disgusting.
pre-show. Well, you don't drink it fast enough.
Drinks should not curdle in less than 5 seconds.
Here's okay. Alex and Kelly both give me crap because I can't chug beer. I can't chug anything. It's a problem of mine. Yet I do Irish car bombs just fine. Alex, on the other hand, I do it before it curdles because Alex sits there and he decides to sip the thing. No, you got to drop both shot glasses in there and go. You just got to tilt your head back and let her rip.
Why don't I just shot the Jameson, shot the Baileys, and then drink the Guinness? Why don't I just do that?
I don't know if
instead?
there's one callback because there's the Irish hand grenade, which we learned from Letterkenny, which is you take the shot of Jameson, you drop the Baileys into the beer. I don't know.
Still curdles.
Okay, if you chug it fast enough, it doesn't curdle. Welcome to.
You don't.
We have gone from a hockey show to a Star Wars show to a hockey show to a movie show to an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting.
You don't chug Guinness. Guinness is a dark beer. Dark beer is meant to be sipped and enjoyed.
It's the lightest dark beer in the world. All right, this is why Dad needs to be out. Why is Dad not watching today?
It is also one of the most enjoyable dark beers in the world. Why? Because it's delicious, it tastes like iron, and it's great.
Rupe Hintz is in the lineup tonight for the Dallas Stars against Vegas. He missed Game 4.
Vegas says #never retreat.
Is that their new one they're going to run today? Okay.
Never retreat.
Well, hey, you know what? They're going to try.
Well, I mean, I hope you wouldn't retreat. You got a game to play. 2 minutes.
Well, yeah, they got a couple. Well, they had warm-ups. That's why they figured it out. I haven't heard anything yet back on. Is Mark Stone in the lineup? That was my question. Because
Mark Stone
was hurt. Is on the ice for warm-up. So Mark Stone should be in the lineup tonight for Game 5.
Should be.
Because he was laboring a little bit in Game 4 for the Vegas Golden Knights.
He was in labor?
He was laboring.
He was in labor.
Well, he was.
Congratulations.
He was moving as fast as someone in labor. I can tell you that much. Still, we have not found the spelling for ye yet, or because we can't.
Sean Couturier,
Selke winner. You know what? And the Selke Trophy is so hard because you've had only.
Ty, what does a person have to do to win the Selke
Frank
Trophy?
J. Selke Trophy is awarded to the league's bestest, offensivist, defensivist forward. Best defensive forward. And for the long time, it was really created so Bob Gainey could get an individual award because he wasn't going to win an Art Ross Trophy. He was not going to win a Hart Trophy. And so, Frank J. Selke was a thing, right? Yeah, let's just give this award. Bob, here you go. And Bob Gainey won it for many years because he was really good at being a defensive forward. And then Pavel Datsyuk went on his reign of terror for a good few years there, and then Patrice Bergeron took that over. And now it's kind of gotten to the point where Bergeron's a little bit older, and there's a new breed coming up. Ryan O'Reilly won it last year with St. Louis. He was another nomination. Patrice Bergeron was nominated. Now, what makes Sean Couturier a Selke Trophy winner, Alex? Here's why I'll tell you, because I know you don't know the answer to that. Capable forward, can play big minutes up front, was an offensive catalyst for the Philadelphia Flyers. However, his ability to play in his own zone was second to none. And that was extenuated this year by the success of the Flyers. You'll never see a player on a bad team, Alex, win the Selke Award. I think Patrice Bergeron did it one year where the Bruins didn't make the playoffs, but at that point, I was like, let's just give it to Bergeron because he still had good numbers and, plus minus was good. Because that's really what it was based on for a long time. Hey, this guy's got a good plus minus. Because typically, Alex, they're centers that win this award. Wingers are not the most defensive. I mean, they really don't need to be defensive. They stay on the boards. If they jump in the middle, it's because they blocked a shot. But centers, when you watch a game, if some people don't pay attention to it too much, but watch in the corners, you don't just see defensemen below the goal line. You'll see the center down there as well. Sometimes the wingers, if the puck's far enough up the boards, but the centers are have a bigger responsibility of being an important piece of the defensive zone. And that's why guys like Sean Couturier are so important. And they win a crap ton of faceoffs. Couturier is one of the best faceoff guys in the league. Sometimes his numbers don't show up because some guys have bad nights on it, but he has shown that when you need a big play in the defensive zone, you need a faceoff win, you need to shut him down, Couturier is your guy, and that's why he's won the award this year. So good for him. Good for Sean Couturier. You were just nodding your head the entire time. Like, were you? Which only means you were either not paying attention or you were somehow magically, for some reason, agreeing with everything I was saying.
Dang, I was going to hold out until it reached 8:02. I was able to get 2.5 minutes out of you.
2.5 minutes?
Yeah,
Oh.
on that one.
Well, because
I just stopped talking and I'll let you go.
Well, thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. How are you keeping track of time? We haven't.
That.
Oh, you're. It's not even the second clock. You haven't even pulled that up yet. But yeah, Couturier, he's solid, and I hope the Flyers. Solid. No, wait, hold on. No. It's solid. It's liquid. It's a gas. Oh, man, if you're not a Bill Nye fan, you don't get that joke. If you watch Bill Nye in school and as a kid, you are falling all over yourself.
Fair.
It's a gas!
Jim Gregory GM of the Year award was awarded to Lou Lamoriello of the New York Islanders. With other candidates being Julien Brisebois.
The guy we talked about with Justin Godfrey of Raw Charge. Bourgeois. He is gone, ladies and gentlemen.
It's a weird name. I'm sorry. Well, it's not a weird name. It's just a funny name to pronounce. And Jim Neal of Dallas. So, 3 out of the 4 general managers that are currently still working in the playoffs. Well, not working, but their teams are in the playoffs. GM of the Year award. Obviously, Lou Lamoriello. I think he deserves it. Because even though your team had to go through coronavirus and also playing half your games roughly in Nassau Coliseum, you did it.
Listen,
and you did good.
Lou was...
How many years after being fired from the Leafs, by the way?
A couple years.
2 years.
Well, not fired. He left. Remember, no, Alex, that was the plan. He signed on for 3 years, and then they were going to name a successor, which Kyle Dubas was supposed to be the guy.
Shanny was done with him.
Yes, because that was the plan. He didn't.
You're right. Nobody fires Lou Lamoriello because Lou Lamoriello will bash
He didn't think that Lou Lamoriello was going to make it forever. But then he's like, well, I can still do this. And the Islanders, they need a guy. I mean, this team sucks. Garth Snow's awful. And, it's funny because I was thinking to myself, why does and I did my research today after he won the award. I'm like, okay, well, yeah, he was able to bring in the pieces. And I don't say it's just this year alone. I think it's since he's shown up with the Islanders. Hires Barry Trotz. All right, brings him back, guys. And listen, when Leo Komarov was signed, we thought, well, this is the stupidest contract ever. It may not be a great looking contract financially, but bringing him in is important. Bringing Matt Martin back. Paid off. Cal Clutterbuck's still there. You have him along. Matthew Barzal is starting to come along. And in the move to bring Semyon Varlamov, who, let's be honest, his career was in limbo at the end of his time with Colorado. But now, here he is, starting goaltender in the Stanley Cup playoffs, capable. And yeah, he's struggling right now against Tampa, but he's played well enough to be a number 1 goaltender again. Maybe not a Vezina caliber goaltender, but a number 1 goaltender nonetheless. He's been able to take this team that had John Tavares, lost John Tavares. He was there in the negotiation. Saying, come on, John, stay with us. We can do something here. Well, John went to Toronto. Lou was like, okay, let's go still beat Pittsburgh in the first round and go to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Go further than John Tavares. Now they're in the conference finals. And if he's able to still retool this team, and I'm not saying bring in big pieces because they're still being successful without those big pieces, but if he can bring in the right guys still with transactions, trades, promotions, demotions in the minors, all that stuff, if he continues to do what he's doing right now, I'm not saying the Islanders are going to make it to the Stanley Cup Finals, but they're going to be a competitive team for a long time. They're going to be a miserable team to play in the Metro for a long time.
Well, my boss Lou made a good choice. And I think the choice that I think gives him the GM of the Year award is Barry Trotz.
It does help. I'm still salty that Bruce Cassidy won the award, not Barry Trotz. Incredibly salty. I said it on the show on Thursday. Barry Trotz should have won it.
You salty?
I am so salty, Alex. Not even Pepper could bring this story back around.
I'll allow it.
Thank you. Torch was a good pickup. Torch could have been, I say it goes Trotz, Torch, Cassidy. Oh, yes, because you're right. John Cooper wins it.
Does Cassidy really deserve it, though?
No.
And I'm saying this as a Griffins fan talking about a former Griffin. Does he deserve it?
Former Griffin coach, we should mention.
Former member of the Griffins organization. Okay.
The last regular season champion of the IHL, Grant Griffin's head coach.
Okay.
No, he didn't. Yes,
I don't
they
think
won.
he did either.
John Cooper last year, yes, because they won 62 games.
Are you giving him the Coach of the Year award because he decided to bush league through the round robin and then set themselves up good for the first round? Is that why?
No, Alex. Remember, Alex. It's before the playoffs. It's determined. Who
Oh,
wins the
my
award.
apologies. What was their regular season record?
Because right now, Rick Bowness would be the Coach of the Year if that's the case. What?
What was their regular season record, Boston?
They're the only team that finished with 100 points. The President's Trophy winners.
So that's why he won.
That's why he was a candidate.
Not be-
I accepted the fact that he was a candidate.
Not because he was the best coach, it's because the team won the most. I see.
I accept the fact, Alex, like I said, that he was a candidate. I'm okay with that. But he doesn't deserve to win it. Barry Trotz took this team of 0 superstars and a bunch of guys that any other team would be a fourth liner, and Brock Nelson. Tell me where Brock Nelson came from, Alex. What penny? Nope, you don't know either. Anders Lee. Nope, not nothing. Matthew Barzal, yes, he was a high-end prospect. He's still got a lot to learn as well. He's a great player. All right. But I don't know what else you got there. What else you got? Oh, you have a guy like Josh Bailey. Okay, where did he come? Yeah, he was one of the last guys to play with John Tavares. Okay, there you go. Okay. He was putting up numbers because he played with John Tavares. Well, now he's putting up numbers because who cares? Because Barry Trotz is like, we're going to put you here and we're going to succeed. And they are, because Barry Trotz. Bruce Cassidy walked into a team that was already talented after Claude Julien was fired and took him over and said, all right, guys, let's play. And okay, we made it to the Stanley Cup Finals last year and got 100 points. The only team to do it in the shortened season this year. Alex, I don't know if you could have done 100 points, but you still could have gotten Boston in the playoffs if you were the coach. I think they're a pretty good team without Bruce Cassidy, wouldn't you say?
Can I talk now?
That's why I asked, what's your...
Good. The President's Trophy is a trophy by itself. Yes?
Yes.
It has its reason for being the trophy by itself.
Yes.
What is the President's Trophy given to? Who is it given to?
The best team with the most points at the end of the regular season.
Right.
Team that wins the most in, well, mostly 82 game seasons, but now this year less.
Right.
Yep.
So, tell me why the coach of the President's Trophy team gets the award, even though he was not the best coach. Why are you awarding an organization 2 trophies for the price of 1? Why?
Like I said, there was nothing historical about this Boston Bruins team.
Right.
There was nothing special about this Boston Bruins team.
Right.
They were the best team in the East and the best team in the league, okay.
Sure.
How many Jack Adams awards Mike Babcock won?
But
0. And how many times is he President's Trophy winner? 06 with Detroit, 08 with Detroit. I don't think he did in 09, though. But regardless.
But your point that Barry Trotz is the best coach this year is valid.
Thank you.
I will give it to you.
Best coach in the decade. Best coach since Scotty. And that's about all I got. Because, I could keep going with how Barry Trotz, but we already did that episode, Alex. Why was I looking up at the ceiling? Now I look at myself and I'm like, I look like a buffoon.
I don't know. Why am I doing this?
You look like you're falling asleep.
Do I seriously?
Well, you look, I don't know.
I'm sitting back in my chair. I got my legs kicked out a little bit.
You have your hands in your pockets while you're sitting in your chair.
Yeah, man. I'm just chilling, bro.
You're just chilling, bruh.
I'm just chilling, bro. Mark Giordano wins the Mark Messier Leadership Award. Tyler, what is the Mark Messier Leadership Award?
It is for... Seriously? You just said the award. Mark Messier Leadership Award. It's for being the most egotistical man in the locker room, Alex.
Right.
No. And, this award's, it's not one that you can argue about because everyone gets, it's similar to the Lady Bing and not the Lady Bing, help me out here, Alex. Bill Masterton Award. Bill Masterton Award.
Why doesn't John Tavares get this one?
Can I finish my point about Mark Giordano first before we start bashing John Tavares for not being a real good captain?
Why isn't it John Tavares?
What? Because he's not a good captain. The Mark Messier Award is similar to the Bill Maston Award, where everyone gets a candidate and then they vote from there. So everyone gets their own individual guy. If Morgan Riley is not the Leafs nomination for the Mark Messier Award every year, I don't know what it is. Look up PWHA, because they release them publicly. The PWHA Mark Messier Leadership
I already
Award
got
nominees. Because if it's not Morgan Riley, I don't know what it is. But yeah, Giordano, he's a good captain. You know, he won the Norris last year. But I like that he's done it. Yeah, like Vegas, like Derek Englund last year in 2018, of course, because he's the Vegas guy. He led the Vegas Golden Knights. He was there when they made it to the Cup final after, of course, the tragedy in the Vegas shooting. There was a lot. What am I looking? Why am I? Oh, I'm Steven Stamkos. I had Steven Stamkos pulled up because I was looking at his pedigree, his winning pedigree. Not a whole lot. Can we all just acknowledge the fact that the Dallas Stars are allowing people to go in American Airlines Arena?
What?
Oh, they're letting people watch games or whatever. Yeah, they're inside American Airlines Arena. Yeah, I laugh a little bit.
All right, time to call you an idiot and tell you why.
Hold on, Alex.
You're indoors during a global pandemic. 6-foot rule can apply, but it is only
there is a 6-foot rule. You can tell there's a lot of space between the fans and stuff, but still.
Okay.
Why?
Is it smart? No. Is the air ventilation going at such a rate that it can take care of the COVID cells, or at least make the air clean enough that way it would be somewhat acceptable? Probably not. Can you guarantee 100% that all of these fans are wearing their masks during the entirety of the game? No, you can't, because why? If you're selling concessions, then they're going to have their mask off when they're eating and when they're drinking food. No! No!
You know, it's funny, Alex, because you and I sit here, we're like a foot and a half apart from each other. We're indoors and all that stuff. But then again, you know what, Alex? I've accepted the fact that we'll never see another live sporting event ever again.
I don't know about that.
No, I'm kidding. We will eventually. It's just,
We will next year.
boy, do I hope so. Because
I'm not saying which month yet because I'm being optimistic. By the way, February next year is looking pretty good. Starts on Monday, ends on a Sunday. It's 4 weeks, 7 to 7, all the way through.
It's always 4 weeks except for a leap year.
No. Okay.
It's 28 days. How many days are in a week?
No.
7.
No.
How
Oh, my
many?
goodness.
28 divided by 7 equals 4. 4 even weeks.
Oh, my goodness.
Mind blown, Alex. You know what? God bless you, son.
No, Ty.
3 of the every. Oh, you're killing me. What are you trying to do here?
Ty. It starts on a Monday,
Okay.
goes through Sunday. Yes?
Okay.
Goes through Sunday. Goes through Sunday. Goes through Sunday. If you put the calendar of February 21st in a square, it makes a perfect square.
Of 2021, you mean, Alex?
Yes, in 2021.
You said 21st, but yes.
February 21. February 2021.
Okay.
It makes a perfect square because it starts on a Monday.
Where did this come from, Alex?
Oh, my goodness.
Where did this come? No, where did this thought of it's perfect because of this?
Because I saw it on TikTok.
Oh my gosh.
It's-
When is my birthday this year? You lost the calendar? Dang it. What day? I just need to know what day of the week it is.
It would be on Sunday.
No, it'd be on
Sunday. Check.
Monday.
Check.
If Sunday's the 28th, Alex,
Check.
do the math.
Check.
Sunday's 28th. Do the math. You don't even need to, Alex. Do the math. Do the math.
7 days.
So that's the 21st. So my birthday this year is on a gosh darn Monday.
Are you sure? Oh, wait, no, that's right. You're on the 22nd. Never
Lord.
mind.
Holy cow. I'm going to forget your birthday on purpose this year.
That's fine. Just
Screw celebrate on Thanksgiving. I'm just saying, oh, Alex's birthday was an 8. Shoot, I thought it was tomorrow because it's 26th.
just celebrate on Thanksgiving.
It's,
Like we always
it's
do.
the 26th, I thought.
I don't eat
The 24th.
I don't eat birthday cake. I eat pumpkin pie.
Pumpkin turkey.
Gobble gobble.
Gobble, gobble.
Oh, I'm ready for Thanksgiving now.
No. Wait, let's see. We had pizza last night. I don't know. I'm not in the mood for. I'm not. It's funny when I do these shows. Well, okay, I say that, but then last week we got on a whole food craze with Peyton Turnage. Which, by the way, speaking of Rando talking about he's got tickets to see the Titans in November. Yeah, he does. He's a big Nashville fan, so then we got that.
Like this November.
Well, yeah. Well, if you're not paid, there are limited seating for the NFL games, outdoor venues. Like the Lions didn't have fans yesterday. I don't know. Did LA? I don't think LA had fans.
I still
last
don't
night.
like it.
Hey, LA's going back to some normal, but I mean, I was at Berlin the last couple weeks.
Define normal.
Allowing people to go to games, Alex, giving them the possibility. I'm doing high school football this year. There's going to be 2 people allowed per player to come to the games. I'll be there up in the press box, which I hope I get to cover a Northview game now because, Alex, you know why?
See, but how are
I need a Wildcat burger.
See, but here's the thing: how are they going to enforce that? All right, what player are you here for?
2 tickets. You have 2 people that walk in for each player. You mark the name on the list.
So they're gonna have to submit a list every game.
Yep. Yeah. That's what they do.
What do you do for the marching band members?
There is no marching band. Zip.
Dumb.
No marching band, Alex.
Dumb. American pastime. Wasted. Dumb.
I thought baseball is American pastime.
Yeah, but baseball sucks and it's slow.
I love baseball. Baseball, one of the many. Now, I'll say this. I'd rather be at a baseball game than listen to some baseball broadcasters. But
Fair.
foul.
No, fair.
It's fair. It's foul. It's fair. It's foul.
Go fair. Go fair. Go fair. Go
Go foul. Go foul. Go foul. It's fair. It's foul. You're wrong again, Ernie. By the way, Rookie of the Year, one of the top 100 sport movies of all time.
Talking about young guns and rookies. Can we get to it?
That was actually pretty solid. Yes, we can get to it. Yeah, we last little bit here. We only got 10 minutes left on the show.
Yanic Duplessis.
Yanic Duplessis.
Duplessis because yes.
Did I spell that right? I don't even know if I spelled that right. I'll be honest with you. Hold on.
It is
Duplessis.
it.
Duplessis. Yep, I spelled it right.
Yanic Duplessis is a Moncton Flowers forward.
AAA hockey.
He is currently 17 years old. He is from New Brunswick.
Maritime boy.
He is an elite level player who was drafted by the QMJHL's Drummondville Voltaguer.
Voltaguer. That's
Did
how
I get it right?
I'm pretty sure. You can't be like me when I say Naranda Huskies.
Rana.
Well, how do I say it? It's Royan.
Just say Duran.
I said it completely wrong. Remember, I was doing my coverage for Puck 77.
No.
I said it wrong. Remember, I was doing my CHL playoff previews. I said it wrong every playoff. RJ Broadhead.
Ruan Duran.
It's
Ruan Naranda.
Naranda. I think it's like Royan Naranda.
Ruan.
I think I said like Royan or something. Anyways, Drummondville Voltaguer draft pick 2019. Yanic Duplessis.
Yes. Hockey World was not really shooken or struck by this, but it's definitely something that's been talked about a lot.
Yes.
And a lot of people have had a lot of different takes on it. But the moral of the story and the point of the story is that he came out earlier this week that in revealing that he is gay,
Yes.
that he is a homosexual.
And the story behind it is a little unfortunate. Drunk buddies at a party said, "Oh yeah, my buddy Yanic, he's gay." And then it kind of started to spread a little bit, and then eventually he decided to make it public. And he is and this may be, I may be wrong on this, but to my recollection, he is, because there's been a lot of players to come out after they're done playing, after they're playing junior, after they're playing college, they've done it after.
Right.
He is the first that I can know, at least that's made headlines for coming out as a homosexual while he is playing. And this
In
kid
hockey.
in hockey.
No, there's been other players. I have to look this up now.
Well, as far as I know,
You keep talking.
At this level, I think, because I know there's a lot of hockey advocates who are homosexuals that have came out, but like I said, it was after they were playing competitive hockey. Now they're advocates for the game, but you're gonna.
I'm seeing.
Any close? Yeah, because there's no one in the NHL. But anyway, sorry. Well, because remember how big of a deal was when Michael Sam, Alex? Michael Sam came out before the draft. Was he Georgia Tech or something? Johnny Olsen. Oh, sorry, looking at Johnny. Okay, yes. Or, excuse me.
That was a Champions Hockey League player.
So plays in Denmark. Excuse me. I meant on North American side. I should have specified in North America. And man, Alex, it's think of it this way. Yes, he kind of got goaded into a corner because the news started to spread and he decided he had to come out with it publicly himself. This kid is 17 years old, Alex.
Yes.
And
During a time where there's a lot of development, emotionally, physically, mentally,
and he
and
has
socially.
and he was able to come out and say it. And he even said, he was talking to media, of course. He even came out and said, like, players that he played with previously, played with currently, coaches coming out to him, reaching out to him, and supporting him. On the same token,
Unfortunately, yes.
People came out and said a lot of very derogatory things.
Very negative things. Yes.
And I'm not going to try to let me tell the quick story here. Florida freshman year, we're going down for nationals. Magic Mike has just come out. And I'm on the bus and saying like, oh man, did anyone see that Magic Mike movie? And I come out and said, yeah, I saw it. Yeah, Channing Tatum, he's pretty hot. Just casually. Nothing more than that. I'm not going to repeat what was said.
You don't have to.
I had to take all of it. Because first of all, I'm 18 years old. I'm a freshman in college. I have no say against these guys.
Also a rookie on a hockey team.
Yes, a rookie.
Which makes it worse, by the way.
A rookie on a hockey team. Still doing the...
Rookie goalie on a hockey team.
The hazing wasn't as bad as some other cases that we had, but like all the
hazing in
chores,
general,
the rookie duties, all that crap. I said that, and the things that I was called, things I was said, like... I just said a guy was hot. I didn't come out saying. I mean, I just said that a gentleman, and literally, I had one of my teammates who didn't say anything to me after this event. He came up to me and asked me like, "Hey, are you actually gay?" I'm like, "No, I just said a guy was hot." He's like, "Okay, I was just making sure." Like, some people take it personally, and I'm glad. Don't forget, Alex, this was 6 or 7 years ago now. I'm glad that we've developed as a society, that we've been able to come out and be supportive of a person like Yanic. Because 6 years ago, for simply, oh, by the way, Vegas just scored. I'm sorry. Distraction. The fact that he was able to come out and say it, and now he's going to be supported by the game. Now, yes, there's a lot of very, and I said the word simple before in the show, Alex, very just simple-minded, one-sided folks that think this, like, the thing, I'm not, like, I don't want to say it. They're not bad words, but some of the sayings that were being said. Oh, the locker room, and oh, don't drop the soap. Are you kidding me, guys? This kid is doing something. This kid's going to be looked back as a trailblazer because he was okay and willing to come out and say, you know what? Yes, I am a gay hockey player. Michael Sam. And yes, Michael Sam's professional football career wasn't turn out like he probably wanted to, but he still took the risk and took the chance, and he was still drafted in the National Football League. A kid like Yanic Duplessis should be commended for the actions he's taken, and he's not going to play in the QMJHL yet. He's going to play a little bit more youth hockey, minor hockey, before he makes that jump. But I hope when he hits up the big time of the QMJHL, Alex, that he gets a good look, and everyone looks at him and is like, hey, that guy's playing for my kid, for my son or my daughter who is a homosexual, because he's willing to come out and say it, and he is commended for it. That's what I like about this. Because he is doing something that a lot of people, Alex, that have had to hold it back because of they're afraid. This kid is showing why he's not afraid.
This kid right here is the reason why, for the past couple years, if not a little bit longer, depending on which organization you're looking at, you've had pride games and pride nights. Not just in the NHL, not just in the AHL, not just in the CHL, not just in any league.
College.
Around the world.
Yep. You have the right to play movement. Yep. Or you can play movement, excuse
There
me.
is a reason why. And the reason is so players like this kids like this can grow up playing hockey and not having to worry about it. Not worrying about who they like or what interests them, anything. What happens after they leave the ice? Go on, Wixie, then.
Alex picked up Wixie for a second. That's why
your mom threw you in here because she's so mean. And now Kelly Hand went and grabbed her. But no, there's... How do I say this good? How do I say this correctly is the actual thing. Because... okay.
I'm with you, Alex. I understand.
There's no point to being mean, folks. Okay? Got your own opinions? Great. Just understand that a lot of you have real crappy ones when it comes to stuff like this. Not all of you. No. There are 3 rules of thought when it comes to a topic like this. Either you are in support of it, so you are commending this young player, this young athlete, this kid, because he's 17 years old, so he's not under. He is under the.
He's 1 year away from being allowed to drink in Quebec, but yes.
Consideration of being adult, I would say. There are the people that don't say anything. They just say,
okay,
all right. They don't do anything. They don't act out. And then there's the other side.
The people that I saw.
The people that have negative comments. They are homophobic. And even when they say, well, I'm not homophobic, I'm making a joke.
I'm just making a joke because, if you can't make it, no.
Guess what? Are you a stand-up comedian? Do you get paid to be a comedian? If not, I'm sorry. And even then, your ice that you are skating on is very thin. And by my concerns, you have broken it.
Yes.
We talked about the Black Lives Matter movement and how we skate for Black Lives. Hashtag we skate for Black Lives with the NHL. Why? Because it is a political discussion. It is a cultural discussion. It is something that needs to be talked about. It is equity for African Americans and African Americans playing hockey. That being said, the same is going to be said for our LGBTQ plus members. I think I got all that in there.
Yep.
Guess what? We have pride games. We have pride nights. We have all of this stuff. And you know what? Both of those communities, the African-American community and the gay community, both oppressed peoples and both come together on stuff when it comes to when something's attacking the other. So you know what? I'm sure we're going to see the Hockey Diversity Alliance having something to say about this.
Yep.
You want to know why? Because it is about diversity. It's not just about race. It's not just about religion. It's not just about sexuality. No. It's all about a bunch of other stuff. You need to be nice to people. This is more than just a game. This is life. Be good to yourself. Be good to your neighbors. Talking with the Brando is up next. We'll be talking with him around 8:45. For Tyler Keel, I am your host, Alex. Be nice out there. Goodbye, everybody.